27 teams, 21 cities, over 200 games, one T20 national champion. A new era of American cricket starts now. The inaugural Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Sling takes place nationwide this summer. Watch live on Willow.tv. Toyota Minor League Cricket, brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. Presented by Sling TV, home of Desi Entertainment and Cricket.
We wish all our viewers a very good afternoon. Um, this is Toyota Minor League Cricket Championships. We have today the Seattle Thunderbolts playing the Hollywood Master Blasters. This is the first of a doubleheader. And we are into over number 1, action resuming. Ball number 1. A little bit on 6. In what is the first for Seattle? Alok, I hear from the dugout that the Thunderbolts employed a toss coach, courtesy of which they finally win their first toss in the tournament.
Wow, that's an awesome news. After how many games, Irvin?
This is game number 5. But jokes aside, the Thunderbolts winning the toss and electing to bowl. They've batted in each of their games so far.
Looks like another beautiful day. A little smoggy, a little humid, but perfect day to play cricket in Northwest. Shadley on his mark. Good ball outside of the off stump. A little bit short of length. Batsman didn't make much effort to connect to the ball and let it go to the wicketkeeper. Again, good ball by Shadley. So let's see how winning the toss gets in favor of Thunderbolts, but our best wishes to both teams, Hollywood and Thunderbolt both. Shelley on the ball. A little bit over pitch, and it was in the air towards the point, but it was a fall in between cover and point. Good throw, single to Hollywood. Almost, it was pretty much in the air, and point fielder tried to make a little dive to catch the ball, but it was a little far from him. Shelley on his mark. Oh, that was a good ball. Good length spot. Going outside the off stump. Good ball, good ball. Shelley on his mark. And it was a little short pitch. Outside the off stump, batsman didn't have any problem hitting the ball between the point and cover for single. Again, thick grass didn't allow ball to roll too far.
That has been a characteristic of the grounds here, Alok. Very thick outfield. And that's meant that 2s and 3s have been at a premium. You played in the gaps, you could get a single. And we've seen all the boundaries as well to be straight on, long on and long off have been productive areas for the boundaries. There have been some at your classic cow corner, third man and fine leg. But otherwise, scoring on the ground has been difficult. We did say, it was a tale of two very different days last weekend. Saturday was a low-scoring affair. Sundays, finally, the teams managed to breach 200. We hope for some good, entertaining cricket today, Alok.
Absolutely, I agree. When I was walking on the ground, it felt a little soggy to me, and definitely what we are seeing, the ball is not rolling on the ground at all. That's a good ball by Anirudh. No, absolutely. In the day last Sunday when I was walking on the ground, it was a little hard, but today it felt soggy and a little watery. But hopefully, because 2 o'clock in the afternoon, it's probably got drier and drier. And as the mesh progress, hopefully it will get dry and get in favor of the second inning batting. Anirudh on his mark. second over of the inning. It was over pitch. Batsman placed it right between mid-on and the bowler for a single.
And Alok, the Thunderbolts should be pretty excited to get Funny back into their squad today. Funny, one of their free agents, could had to miss the first several games on account of COVID. Now he's gone through the protocol, recovered, and finally coming through for the Thunderbolts today. That must be pretty exciting times for them. They've really wanted to add another good pacer to their bowling attack, and Funny gives exactly that for them.
Yeah, as we've seen in the last game, Thunderbolt's strength was quite relying upon spinners, but as you said, Funny's coming into the team today probably will add a little bit pace to Thunderbolt's bowling attack. Not sure how much it will add the values because this piece seems to be helping spinners a lot. Arvind?
Very well said. Thunderbolts depended on spin last game heavily, the last couple of games, especially in a very containing role. They have Ani and Shadley opening the attack. Shadley's been very effective. He's been a key wicket taker for them. He's been one of their most incisive bowlers. But the middle overs in T20, patrolled by spinners, and no different for Seattle. Meanwhile, a fantastic shot. That was a close one. The ball diving to the ground around a foot. That would have been a world-class catch if it had been taken at point, but a very difficult chance there. The ball on the fifth stump, a back foot punch played, falling just a feet ahead of point.
I wouldn't call this as a good ball. It was quite out, short pitch ball, and it was outside off stump, and batsman didn't hesitate to connect it well. However, it was a bit in the air, and looks like point fielder with a little bit of extra effort could have probably catch it easily. Anirudh again, next ball, cheeky single. Just tapped it towards the mid-wicket, short mid-wicket. Ball is not traveling at all, as we all see. And batsman didn't hesitate to go for a single. Our electronic scorecard is not updating, so sorry for all the viewers for not letting you know the scorecard, but hopefully you're seeing on the screen while you're watching the video. But at the end of the 2 over, it looks like it's 6-run. Asad is playing on 1 and Prithu playing on 5. Shadley with a fresh over.
Shadley recovering from a niggle. He had a calf niggle last game. Nice lines there. Attacking the stump. And that's Shadley for you. Shadley is always attacking the stumps, and he's one bowler who, in his first spell, looks to take wickets.
He's pretty consistent, as I could see in his bowling, length of line, and pretty attacking towards the batsman, not giving much of a room, and a good ball.
What a ball!
That was good length ball. It got a little bit of kick and nip into it.
Absolutely, yes. You could see that. You know, surprising the batsman with, you know, it's what they call those heavy balls. It is a good length, but came up perhaps a bit too quick for the batsman. Edge to around third slip, Alok?
Yeah, it was almost like between third and fourth slip. And as we can see, we have one slip fielder on third pitch, a third slip.
A quick single there. The batsman make it in time. And that's what you need to do. You need to keep rotating the strike. This is a good second over from Shadley. Very economical. And the best thing you can do as a batsman is rotate the strike. And bowlers don't like that. When the batsmen scamper for a single of a good ball that has been defended on the back foot, if they manage to take a single, Any opening bowler gets angry at that.
I'm not sure what Hollywood's strategy is, but seems like they are not taking any risk at all in the beginning of overs. Punt and power play, we're not seeing a typical T20 power play. Not sure if that's their strategy or it's the bowling of Shadley and Annie's attack by Thunderbolt, but Asad and Prithu both are playing pretty conservatively and safe and trying to take cheeky single in the gaps or just tapping the ball close to the pitch and running for a single. So we'll see how far this strategy get into a great success for Hollywood Master Blaster.
What a ball. Shadley saw the batsman attempt to come down the wicket. Look, I think the batsman heard you, trying to be aggressive. Shadley read that and dug that in for a bouncer.
Absolutely, and Prithu, for Prithu especially, was quite high. It would have gone a little bit more higher. Probably would go for a wide ball, but no, great ball. Seems like Shadley kind of understood the intention of the batsman, and they're not making big shots. He thought probably this ball is good. They're going to go for it. 5 over of this ball, last ball in hand of Shadley. On his mark.
It's a good field for Shadley. Oh, one more edge. This one right over first slip. Going for a 4. The batsman going at it with hard hands. And you see that often in T20 cricket. You know, if you have to get an edge, go at it with hard hands. There's every chance that it's going to run away for a 4, just like that one did. Behind first slip. But a good over from Shadley nevertheless. Attacking over. Forcing the batsman to take all the risks. And a much needed boundary for the Master Blasters.
Yep, Master Blaster now 12 for no loss. It was a ball going outside the off stump and batsman, I would say, played a typical T20 shot for 4 over the third man. So, hey, runs are runs. You see ball, you hit ball. And sometimes they connect well, sometimes they resulted in a good scoring ball. So, Ani with this fresh over, fourth over of the inning, 12 for no loss. Prithu's playing on 10. Asad is playing on 2. And it seems like they are pushing for the better run rates in the power play.
Yeah, 3 overs left in the power play to maximize the field restrictions. They have 2 boundary riders, one in square leg, one in third man. A nice shot of the front foot towards covers for a quick single. It's a beautiful day out here in Seattle. Warm, sunny. A little bit of smoke in the air, but otherwise a perfect day for cricket.
I'm not sure where the smog is coming from. Is it Canadian smog or is it coming from east of Washington?
I think it's a combination of both, Alok.
Another good ball by Ani and right on mark. Didn't leave much room for batsman to open his arms. And batsman ended up playing in toward the cover for no run. Dot balls are good balls for the bowling side. Now I could see a little bit wind coming and it definitely feels better sitting here in the commentary box, and I'm sure the fielders and the batsmen also feeling the same. How much it could help the bowlers because ball is still new, haven't seen much of a hitting or a punishment yet. Ani on his mark. And first connection shot we saw for 4. Well played. Prithu read the ball pretty nice. It was towards middle and leg, and there was no fielder behind the mid wicket. There's only one outside the circle towards the square leg, and he gone over mid wicket for 4 runs. I see the intention now to push in the score is demand is rising, and hence batsmen are trying well. Oh, that's a better ball. That's a better ball. Wasn't much fuller as the last ball. A little bit of short of length, right in the middle. Didn't leave much of a room again for the batsman to do anything. And Prithu didn't have any choice other than to just defend it. Score now, 4th over. 17 for no loss. Anirudh on his mark. Oh, that was a better ball again. A little bit high over outside the off stump. Prithvi just chipped into the gully. No run. It's kind of like odd when it's get windy. It's beautiful, but when it's not windy, it's humid, smoggy, and a little bit irritating. At least for me, sitting in the commentary box. I wish I was playing. Then it would be a different story.
No, but well said, Alok. It's expected to be a hot weekend here in Seattle. Meanwhile, a wonderful shot. Oh, just over the outstretched hands at long on for a 6. The batsman taking the strike. The batsman going through with the shot. It was in the slot. Heaved over long on. And Funny, who's at the long on fence, maybe a couple of feet in, saw that outstretched hands grazing his fingers for a 6. That would have been an outstanding catch had he managed to rein it in. But very tough one on the boundary. Very tough. That was a good shot, a good aggressive 6 by the Master Blasters.
That was a great shot. We have with ourselves Funny Chitneni, and I would like to just ask him how the arrangement he's making and all the stuff that his team is working on. Congratulate to him. I would invite him to sit alongside and say a few words.
Thank you, Alok. Appreciate it. And thanks to the commentary team here. You guys are doing an amazing job. Our partners, players, everyone, community, sponsors, everybody super excited about this minor league and Seattle Thunderbolts. We had a tough start, but team is coming together well now. And today, as you know, we are facing Hollywood Master Blasters. And we really hope team can pull off another win here. More than that, I would look forward for a good game. And that elevates the league status. That's what we are all trying to do here, and make our sponsors, community, fans happy. A great set of volunteers here, trying to get a great game going here. And for first season, we couldn't ask for more. We hope this grows in stature from game to game, and we would love to see this become a mainstream sport in US. Cricket become a mainstream sport in US pretty soon here. Once again, we really thank Thunderbolt sponsors, fans for all your support. Come in huge numbers, support us. We are at Klahani Park in Sammamish. Go Thunderbolts. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Your team is definitely doing an incredible job writing another beautiful chapter in not only in Northwest cricket, but adding your values to US cricket. And this was a great ball by left-hander Funny. York delivery towards the pad, and it was a leg by for 1 run. Over to my good friend Irvin.
Meanwhile, a nice flick to square leg for a single. Both Prithu and Asad have looked good. Prithu especially, very fluent. 2 4s and a 6. He's been the more aggressor. That said, Thunderbolts will be happy with the start. They've contained them to less than 6 or over so far, Alok.
Yeah.
I'm
They definitely in first 2-3 were pretty slow, but now it seems like they're charging again. There was a ball right outside the off stump. Batsman already charged up. Asad seems like was going for it, but batsman Funny read him pretty nicely. Bowled a little short outside the off stump, didn't give him a room to hit any big shot at all. So now I definitely see the intention now. Seems like they wanted to read the pitch. They want to read how the ball's moving in and out, and now they feel comfortable going for it. Well, let's see. It's a bowling and betting contest. Let's see who wins.
The pitches have been playing true here. And concrete pitch with mat on it. Oh, that's another chance. The batsman coming down the wicket. Funny saw that one more time again. Read it really well. A very successful first over from Funny. A very successful over from Funny there. Good attacking lines the entire over. He was able to react to the batsman coming down the wicket and adjust his lines.
Funny Samadri, I mean, it seems like you said he's coming out and playing his first game, and I see his line of length and quick zip in the ball into the batsman definitely created some issues and challenges for the batsman, and hence he delivered a beautiful over. I mean, what can you expect within the power play? 1 over, only 1 run. Great bowling. It seems like captain himself is now taking the last over of the power play. Harmeet Singh on the strike, and we have to see now, since this first time the spinners coming into attack for Thunderbolts, and let's see how Hollywood Master Blaster Asad and Prithu take on Harmeet Singh. I feel like there will be some excitement in this over. I personally feel like that.
Thunderbolt fans are going to hope that that's in the form of wickets. The Master Blasters are going to hope it's going to rain 4s and 6s. As commentators, we would love to see the excitement either way, but I'll be lying if I didn't say I wanted a wicket now. Yes, Harmeet is bowling in the power play. He did that in a couple of previous games as well. Not afraid. Harmeet can, plenty of variety. He can push it through, he can fly it, he can give it a rip. A good ball first up. Dug into the pitch, 4th stump. Batsman going on the back foot, defending it to covers.
Yeah, it's not easy to read how Harmeet bring his ball into an angle from way outside. So you could see like way outside of where the crease is, and then it's coming into the batsman. So it's coming to an angle. It's hard to read, and definitely Prithu is taking his own time to read the ball right and see what action he's going to take. And Prithu read the ball, this one beautifully. It was on the leg, full ball. He didn't hesitate to go for a good shot, for a sweep shot between the fine leg and a square leg for 4. Great shot.
Yeah, the line there, you call it right, Alok. Middle leg stump line, inviting the batsman to go for the shot there with a single fielder on the square leg fence. It was inviting the batsman, executing it to perfection for a beautiful 4 to square leg. Adjusting the lines a little bit on off and middle, a quick single, meanwhile, to mid wicket for a single. Yeah, Harmeet going wide of the crease, round arm action. Adjusting his lines a little bit more to the offside. It's when he strays to the leg, with especially the power play, when he has very little protection, that you have to be careful and bowl to your field.
Absolutely, yeah. The angling that he's bringing in, but he can't afford to pitch the ball on the legs for the batsman with full, because it's definitely going to go for 4 or 6. And this is a great ball. Pitching outside the off stump, coming in for the batsman. Asad didn't go for it, went for a little defense, pushed it to the cover for no run. Prithu's pushing it nicely, playing on 26 and 24 ball. Asad's taking his own time. And again, great ball. Asad didn't take any risk, pushed it again towards the point for no run. And this over, Harmeet Singh conceded only 5 runs. Not a bad over for Thunderbolt, but it's high time for Hollywood Master Blaster to push. Score has now gone to 29 for no run, 29 for no, 30 for no wickets in 6 overs at the run strike rate of 5.0.
The Master Blasters, meanwhile, have had an interesting journey themselves. They're looking for their first win. The last game that they played was a very exciting one. They could have almost managed to pull it off, falling short by 1 run in the final over. But going back to the previous over from Harmeet, it's very hard on spinners. The margin of error so little. Harmeet had 2 boundary riders, one at square leg and one at long on, which meant that he didn't have any cover on the boundary on the offside. So that means that spinners, especially somebody like Harmeet coming around the wicket, they have to bowl in that very narrow channel and not give any room for the batsman to open their shoulders. I thought Harmeet did quite well for that. Meanwhile, the power play is done. It's field spread out. You have boundary riders at square leg, deep mid wicket, long on. Meanwhile, a fluent shot to the cover boundary. A wonderful shot. A wonderful shot again there by Prithu. Saw the width, latched onto it very quickly and played it beautifully over covers. Extra cover for 4.
Yeah, I mean, Nittel bowled really well in the last game against Riders. In this bowl, to start with the first bowl of the fresh over, wasn't quite impressive. It was full outside the off stump, and Prithu has no hesitation to throw this ball over the. Oh, this is appeal, and like we said, great ball pitched, little bit good length outside the off stump. Prithu again tried to go for it, but I feel like this ball did not rise at all. It just kept so low. But great ball, great wicket for Thunderbolt. First loss for Hollywood. Prithu, who was batting well and now is coming into rhythm of hitting the ball outside the boundaries, gave his wicket away. First loss and first wicket for Thunderbolts.
You're right, Alok. I mean, I think the batsman shaping for the cut of the back foot. Perhaps the bounce wasn't as high as he had anticipated it to be. There's a hint of a turn and a sharp catch behind the stumps. An important breakthrough for the Thunderbolts in the context of the game, because Ritu was looking so well, so good. He was certainly the aggressor. 4 fours and a 6, was batting really fluently. That gave Asad enough time to settle in. That was an important breakthrough for the Thunderbolts. So Nitil having an impact right away. And this is where I think the Thunderbolts, the depth in their bowling is going to come through.
Yeah, good bowling change by Harmeet. First ball wasn't quite impressive, but second ball definitely did the magic for Thunderbolt and gave them a first success of this inning. And who's a new batsman? Seems like scoreboard again is not refreshing as frequent as it should have been. So we'll wait for it to refresh and read the name of the batsman.
Cody Shetty into that is a batsman who comes in one drop. Cody is exciting talent, and we in Seattle are familiar with Cody. Cody has come here for a few summer camps, and at the Willow Academy, he's mentored many of our U11 through U17 kids. So no stranger to the Thunderbolts and to the local setups here.
No, our good friend Shield is sitting next to us. He's helping in the commentary. He just looked into the records of Hollywood Master Blaster team, and seems like Cody is the only player so far have scored 100 major league runs in however many games, 5 or 6, 3 games. So it seems like he's been impressive. So Thunderbolt has to watch out for him.
Yes, Cody has had a progressively more successful campaign. Almost a half century last game, 49 runs for his team in what was a very important game for them. They almost pulled that one off. So yes, Cody is certainly the batter in form for them, and plays at that crucial first down spot.
Now, it seems like the way he's punching the ball looks like a great talent. And no, that was a great ball. That was a great ball. It was deceiving for Cody. He thought it was going to be a short pitch, but it was. From here I could see it was much of a Goodland spot. He tried to go on a back foot, try to push it towards the point, but. And this one actually risen up a little bit,
Yeah.
and it didn't cap low at all. If it would have capped low, but there was a chance he could have gotten clean ball. But
Definitely.
great ball by Nitel.
Definitely. And What was interesting in that over, Alok, is he threatened both edges there, both the outside edge and the inside edge. And this one, like you said, was not far from the stumps. Could have easily been either caught behind or an inside edge into the stumps. That was a phenomenal ball. So good over, very good first over there.
Absolutely. And if you would have seen the over, I mean, he mixed those balls pretty nicely because I've seen one going leg spin, sort of a little full. He got hit for four. Then another one, little pitch, little bit short, a little zipped in outside the off stump where Ritik got out. And few balls to Cody. He mixed them all very nicely and it was a great over. Good bowler. Good bowling.
And that's what happens every time you take a wicket. It doesn't matter which form of the game it is. There's always a reset. The new batsman has to come in and take a few balls to get adjusted to the pitch, the bowlers, the field settings. And that's time for the bowling team to capitalize, sneak in a few quick overs there and keep the run rate low. Meanwhile, Harmeet continues in this spell, the second over of this spell. Bowling to Asad.
That was a good ball outside the off stump. Pushed it towards the point for no run. Seems like we got 4 people out now. One deep square leg, deep mid wicket, deep mid on, and a deep cover. And the way he's angling the ball, this is a straight drive. Oh, I almost didn't see. He came from the back screen, behind the back screen, and I thought it was going to go for 4, but yeah, great stop, only for 2. This ball was much of a fuller ball, and Asad, first time I've seen Asad opening his hands now for hitting.
Right, Alok, and we were a little bit unsighted there. Shadley came from long off. Started our 5th fielder in the outer circle. And Asad really has to open up right now. Needs to give Cody a few more balls to settle in. He's been in there for around half an hour now. Should have a good hang of the conditions. And they need to get a march on here, the Master Blasters. Another lovely ball. Asad has not looked that fluent of the back foot. Struggling to get the timing right. Hasn't looked to play the cut. He hasn't looked strong on the cut. He's looked much better playing it fine on the leg side.
Yeah, this time he kind of shuffled a little bit to the off stump, pushed the ball in the gap where because square leg fielder is online, and he just pushed it for a single in front of the umpire. His score now has reached to, after 7 overs, refresh my scorecard, 37 for loss of 1 wicket. Harmeet has completed his second over. Nikhil is coming back on bowling, and now it's time to switch our commentator. I will take a little break and invite my good friend Shield to come and take the commentary box. Come over.
Thank you, Alok, and good afternoon to the viewers. Fascinating game of cricket here. Both the teams at this point are the 2 bottom teams at the table and wanting to add some momentum to their scores and their point positions. And Hollywood Master Blasters have, at best we could call it a sedate start, really, Arvind.
Very definitely. 8 overs, 37 for 1. Meanwhile, Nikhil continues. Asad goes for a heap. Ow. That should go down as a chance at extra cover for a 4. Asad coming down the wicket. The pressure finally getting to the batters. Asad went for a flamboyant cover drive. Managed to get the distance. The cover fielder had to cover some ground, trying to cut it off at extra cover. A good jump, but the ball bursting through his hands to the extra cover boundary for a 4. Much needed runs for Asad. Nikhil, good comeback ball, keeping it down for a tap to point. Nikhil's bowling is interesting. And then a combination of leggies, fast ones. We haven't seen a genuine leg spinner yet, but I'm sure it's going to come. But in T20, that's the variety is so important, especially as a spinner. But true for pacers too.
And you said it right. I think a wicket like this, which is not going to have too much turn, it's also the game of length. And I think the last over that we saw with Nital, his wicket came and a ball that he pitched slightly more fuller, and hence it kept a little low, and then he troubled the batsman after that because he varied his length and hence the bounce, and that's what he is embarking on much rather than the turn from this wicket. He's varying his length beautifully, but he's been rather loose, a couple of balls in this over, and the ball sitting up and the batsmen were able to get some easy runs in there. On the drop catch, I would just say that I think the fielder came in a little too quickly inside, and the ball, if he would stayed at the boundary line, it would have been an easy grab for him. Hollywood Master Blasters, they have had an issue this tournament with their run rates. None of their batsmen have had a strike rate above 100. So it was good to see Prithu show some urgency, but as you said, as you mentioned right now, Arvind, Asad needs to get a move on. He's played about 20 balls to score about 10. So he's going at a strike rate of 50, and they need to get a move on right now.
And this ground is going to make it hard for them. The heavy outfield is going to ensure that run scoring is going to be difficult. You're not going to get that many 2s and 3s. And you saw that in the previous over. That one ball, I would say, Nital lose one, the 5th one. Plenty of width. Stood up for the batsman. And Cody shaping for the cut there. On any other ground, that would have raced to the point boundary for a 4. But at the Kalani cricket grounds, with the outfield being a lush, thick grass, lucky to get away with that, to keep it down to a 2. Meanwhile, 9 overs up. A likely bowling change at the moment. Abir Chipper into the attack. Thunderbolts have a stable of spinners, multiple left-arm options. Straying down the leg side, nicely guided to square leg. I think they're scampering for a 2, and they managed to pull that off. 2 quick runs. A quick 2 there to square leg.
Abir Chippa is another one of the 3 bowlers from Thunderbolts who are in the top 20 of the bowler leaderboards. He's got 5 wickets so far. Bowls at an economy rate of 6.2. And this is the thing that Thunderbolts have done very well. They have used the first few games of this league to find the right combination, and I think they're closest to their best combination now. The variety of the bowlers, each bowler is very different from each other. There's a leg spinner, there's a left arm orthodox bowler. So there's enough variety out here. They know the conditions pretty well, and they're backing it up on the field.
Very well said, Sheil. And teams across the minor league have to transition from turf pitches to cement ones and do so quickly. And wickets, and you know the difference between the two. It can be pretty large. Turf wickets, especially a touch under prepared, the kind of bounce and turn and cut that spinners get is very different from, say, here in Klahani, where you're not going to see much of a sharp turn. And like you said, line and lengths are going to be more important. Is that a wicket there?
It was close.
The batsman, I thought the fielders were very excited about the direct hit, but comfortably home there. And very well said about the depth in the bowling that the Thunderbolts have. They need these. They know these conditions well. These are their home grounds, and they can use their full roster of spinners to really choke the scoring rate. And you're also right. The Master Blasters have struggled to get around 7 to 8, be at an economy rate of 7 to 8. And transitioning to these wickets is going to be a challenge for them. That might have explained why their conservative start, to see how the wicket behaves, hold the wickets up front. Meanwhile, an appeal for a caught behind certainly went off the pads. Was there an inside edge onto it? I think that's the question being asked. The umpire is going to have nothing of that appeal. It's a hot day, a hot, humid day. And plenty of water breaks. We are under a heat advisory out here in the northwest. Seattle is famous for its gray skies and rain for 6 to 7 months of the year. It's not an exaggeration, but out in summer is one of the best places you can be on the planet. Very outdoorsy place, plenty of hikes, lakes, and occasionally there are a couple of weekends where it can get scorching hot. And this is one of those. Temperature is expected in the 90s. It has been in the 90s yesterday and today. So we've stocked up on the water, Gatorades, plenty of Costco runs, Sheil. Stocking up on that. Our setup here, we have a few cricket grounds out here in Seattle area for cricket. Today's game, like last week's, is in the Klahani Park cricket grounds. Merrymoor Park is another traditional cricket ground. It's been there for the better part of 2 decades. But there's been real excitement in the Total Nave grounds that's coming up, which is a proper, full-fledged cricket grounds, a turf pitch. The entire cricketing community here is so excited by that. We have soil experts coming in. Hopefully, the aspiration is for a wonderful cricket ground to be shaping up in around a year's time. So very excited for that, Sheil.
Absolutely. Well said. I came into the area 3 years back, and I can completely vouch for whatever you said about Seattle, the weather, the tradition of cricket that's picking up, and very excited to see the way Seattle Thunderbolts are kind of leading the, or rather carrying the flag for this wonderful state. So it's
Funny Samhadri back into the attack. Over number 2, Harmeed ringing in the bowling changes. And I think Funny deserved a second over soon enough. I think he was pacing himself up, perhaps, his first game in these championships. Comes and bowls vigorously. The pace is quicker than you would anticipate, perhaps, from the run-up. It's going to be interesting to see Funny today, Sheil.
absolutely. He's a classic left-handed bowler. He's bowling across the batsman, and that's always a difficult ball to deal with. There again, it's a nagging line. Honestly, it's he's bowling from over the wicket, but across the right-handed batsman, who has to reach out for the ball and it's quite full in length, so he's not able to get under the ball, and that's keeping the economy going for him. Even here, if you see, the ball was slightly wide and full, and the only shot that was possible there was to reach out, and it would take an outside edge. That's exactly what happened to the deep third man. Funny is, as you mentioned in the past, he's the one change that they brought into the team along with Sahil Kancharla, and both of them, I guess, have had an impact so far. Sahil has been very, very agile in the cover point fielding position so far, and Funny has had an impact as a bowler in this game. So Thunderbolts looking really promising at this point, not letting the Hollywood team go beyond 5 runs per rate.
Yeah, we are past the halfway point at this stage of the game. 52, approaching the end of the 11th over. I suspect the Thunderbolts are quite thrilled at the way they have bowled so far. Very few boundaries. Very few boundary balls, I should say. And the Master Blasters have decided to play the conservative game, not cut out the risks. It's going to be interesting to see what their tactics is going to be in the back half of this inning. And you said this earlier, Sheil. Their scoring rate has been modest throughout the tournament, and which has enabled teams chasing to overhaul their scores by the 17th or 18th overs. So I wonder what their tactic is here. Cody can be aggressive. Cody has been their anchor in the game so far. But even Cody hasn't looked to be at his fluent best today.
I think that's been an issue with him. That's a good shot. That's played up in the air towards the wideish cover position, and it's fielded on the boundary by Shadley there. It gives them a single. Again, they're not able to get too many boundaries as much they would like, and that's kind of aligned with the kind of scoring rate they've had so far in the tournament. Right, Cody has been one of the mainstays of their batting, but he has been an anchor at best in all the matches so far. That's again a conservative shot, just pushed behind the third man. Okay, quick single. Andreas Gauss there, fielding the ball.
Yeah, RB doing good, not giving them any length to work with. Oh, another genuine nick. A genuine nick. That was an attempted heave over covers, which went to first slip and running away for a boundary there. Welcome runs for the Master Blasters. Doesn't matter how they come, as long as they come. And that was a genuine nick. It was very tough for the keeper to latch on because of how quick it went. Oh, another quick one. This one was slapped off the back foot to the right of covers, past the outstretched hands of the cover fielder. Would have been almost spectacular for him to have reeled it in. But Abir's bowled a very good over, creating chances in 3 out of the 3 balls of this over. And another one there. This one pushed through. The batsman shaping for the cut of the back foot and missing it completely.
Wonderful bowling. Completely agree with you. He's again working on his variations. And there you go. His discipline has got him a wicket there completely. That's a bowler's wicket. Total deception, as you mentioned. The previous edge was a genuine edge, deceiving the batsman. And he's worked on his deception again. This time the ball coming in with the arm, and the batsman was well late on his shot. So the second wicket goes down for Master Blasters. Seattle Thunderbolt would be thrilled with this, with the proceedings right now.
Very true, very true. And that was a big wicket. Cody had struggled in that over. This one was pushed through quick. I have to say the batsman almost yorked himself, getting into the spot of bother, shaping to plate on an on drive of sorts, but it was really a nothing shot. The ball sneaking under the bat. Another important breakthrough for the Thunderbolts. The Thunderbolt fans are going to love this. 59 for 2. More importantly, the wicket of Cody Chetty. Nisarg Patel coming in at number 2. And Nisarg is a senior player for the Master Blasters. Hasn't gotten going this season so far, but much is expected of him. He's been an important all-rounder for them. Bowling in every game, batting high up in the order in every game. The Thunderbolts, I'm sure they would love to have have a streak of single-digit scores continue. But this is excellent figures for Thunderbolts so far. 12 overs, 59 for 2, at a run rate of less than 5 an over. Very effective bowling by the Thunderbolts. They are the happier team at this stage. 8 overs left to go. And really, to make a game out of this, you reckon they have to score at least around 130 runs, Shield, or there's going to be troubling.
You said it absolutely, and we can already see some urgency from the batsmen here. It's already 12 overs gone. They're in that stage where they need to make a decision how far they can go on with this steady rate and take some aggressive stance in scoring some fast runs. In the meantime, there's change in commentary along with me as Arvind takes a break, and we welcome back Alok.
Hey, thank you, Shield. How's it going for first time? You're doing a great job, man. I was watching the video, but another ball from Harmeet outside the off stump. Batsman tried to reach out, wasn't able to connect it. Seems like 12 overs gone and 59 runs only. With that pace, I'm not seeing them going across 100, unless there's a pinch hitter sitting there somewhere. But so far, very tight bowling by Thunderbolt. Shadley 2 over 9 runs, Anirudh 2 over 14, Funny 2 over 5 runs, Harmeet 2.2 over 9 runs, Nital 2 over 12, Abir Chippa 2 over 9. Very good economy rate for all the bowlers so far from Thunderbolt. And last ball, ball was going outside the off stump. Batsman tried to connect it, took some simple edge outside the off stump, went to the third man for a single. Oh, that was a great ball. It came to the angle. Was batsman thought it's going down the leg, but it came in and took the edge and went to the gully, a little bit in the air, but no harm. No harm done. 13 over gone, 61 for 2 wickets. I'm thinking from now on they will start charging. What do you think, Shield?
Well, I'm sure they were thinking that way as well, but there's some seriously good bowling happening out here from the slow bowlers in Thunderbolt's side. They're varying their deliveries, their lengths. They're getting wickets out of pure deception. Even Harmeet's last over, all the 6 deliveries were different from each other. He varied his length and the speeds of the ball, and he got some turn in the last one. So that's surprising. So once you get that kind of unpredictability, that puts doubts in the minds of the batsmen. So right now, the batsmen are reaching out for the balls, and quite clearly, some classic slow bowling happening from the Thunderbolts, which is not giving enough momentum and timing for the Master Blasters here. Might want to call out here that there's a legend in the dugout of the Master Blasters today. There's the great Sri Lankan captain Arjuna Ranatunga, who is in the dugout for Master Blasters. He's a mentor for the team, and it would be a great pleasure and privilege for us to welcome him here in the com box for a quick chat during the break, lunch hour or the innings break, really.
No, I absolutely agree. I saw Arjun Ranatunga sitting him in legendary figure. Absolutely, and it's not only an honor for all of us playing, sitting, watching, but him being here and being supportive of the U.S. cricket and supporting a team. I mean, him sitting here by itself is a big thing. I mean, you can't imagine such legend be among yourself. We'll definitely make an effort to invite him over. And Abir Chippa again, good bowling. I was behind the stumps watching him bowl, and his variation is absolutely phenomenal. Ball coming in, ball going out, lots of air, some zipping in. So that variation is definitely helping Thunderbolts, and there could be a chance of run out. Ball. If this ball could have gone directly into hands of Andreas, definitely would have been a run out chance. But great bowling, pretty tight. How would you play him, Shield?
from the non-striker end, that would be the best way to play him, I guess. No, I think the best one can do with Abir's bowling right now, because he is not giving pace on his ball, and he is deceiving on pace and length, and he's got a good arm ball that comes in. So the batsmen are very careful about him. That's a wide ball, rare mistake from him. It was short and wide, but overall he's got tremendous control. So the best the batsman can do is keep the wickets intact and make sure that they just cash out as many runs as possible through singles and nudges and pushes out there. But clearly they're in a territory right now where they have to play big shots. So we can see a lot of plays and misses out there from the Master Blasters.
I absolutely agree, but how Thunderbolts bowlers, their line and lands is so accurate and consistent, not giving any rooms, and margin of error is very low. It's not allowing batsmen to open their hands at all. I mean, I seen they tried it several times, but like Abir's last over, there was it was quite a loopy ball, but the length of the ball and the line exactly didn't allow batsmen to go anywhere, and that was a dot ball. Great over again. Harmeet Singh back on the tack. His last over, and again, the line right outside the off stump, ball came in, not too short, not too long, didn't allow batsman, and batsman was only able to push it through the mid-on for a single.
Harmeet is a experienced customer. He has played various leagues around the world. Really understands conditions very well. He has guile. He's got variations, and here he's making sure his experience is counting. He's bowling on the body, and that's not letting the batsman come underneath the ball. I also feel that it's time Asad takes a bit of risk, because I don't think his strike rate of under 50 is helping right now, and defense is not the way to go. From the 3 games prior to this one, the clear challenge for Master Blasters has been hitting boundary shots. They've not been hitting too many boundary shots. They're only averaging 7 fours a game, 3 sixes a game. They need to go far beyond than that if they have to make a match out of this.
Oh, that's not the average you just mentioned. Not going to help much for Hollywood Master Blasters. But how I'm analyzing this inning so far, they've played a lot of shots on a back foot. Didn't really charge up at all. And with we have 3 Harmeet Singh, Abir Chippa, and Tal, 3 spinners. They are not able to charge up and push the ball in the air. We have seen few from Prithu, but nothing from Asad, nothing from Cody, and Nasser is still playing a little conservatively, just pushing for singles and doubles. And 6 over left in this inning. I would definitely go and charge and push some balls in the air outside the boundary line. Again, good ball by Harmeet.
Totally agree with you. They have to take some chance and some risk out here, and be a little more innovative in their approach. At present, they're just playing with the merit of the ball, and the Thunderbolts have had a high percentage of good deliveries. And if they continue to respect the merit, there's very little they're going to do good to their own strike rate, and then the Master Blasters. There's still a lot of options that Thunderbolts have in their tank if they want to have extra bowlers. It's a side that is well populated with a bunch of all-rounders, people with multiple skills, multi-dimensional skills. So I like the balance of it. So it was a bit surprising that it took a while to get their momentum going in this tournament. But they will have to cash in as much as possible at their home games, so that they can have some cushion when they travel out.
You said it right, Sheil. I mean, definitely home advantage is always the great advantage to have. And however, the way they're bowling and the way Master Blaster batting is, I mean, I don't see this Master Blaster inning is able to accomplish more than 120 at this point, because even they go with 10 runs per over for last 5 overs, they should be able to only get around 50 runs, and that's not going to be enough, I don't think, because the batting lineup of Thunderbolts having Andreas, Jagrup, Shadley, Prajit, and Manu's in the team too. I mean, great batting lineup, and what we have seen in the last game against the Ryder, they just scored 200 odd runs, and I don't know how they'll be able to. Master Blaster be able to just put 120 and able to defend it. And the Cirque tied it charged up on a B chippa, push it to the cover for a single.
So Abir Chippa continuing good work out here. Once again, it's a length ball. It's up in the air. That should be an easy grab. And that's what happens. Short third man coming underneath the ball. Slight tumble, but an easy catch taken at the end. Once again, it's the pressure on the new batsman, Nisarg, that got the better of him. Again, as I mentioned, it's not helping that on one end their strike rate is so low that the other side, the batsmen have to take such risks. This ball was not there for the batsman to take a massive hoik, but he did try on that one. It went right up in the air, straight up in the air for an easy grab for the Thunderbolts fielder. So the third wicket's down now, and the score is 68.
No, definitely the pressure is on the batsman, and but it's if you really see their batsman approach, they're not really coming out of the crease and not hitting. I mean, at this stage of time, you had 3 wickets down. I would expect batsmen to come in out on 1, 2, 3, connect the ball cleanly, get out for 6 or 4s or whatever. But it seems like their confidence level is at a very low level at this time and not charging up at all. I would charge up. Let's see if they'll listen to my suggestion and do something. A beer on his next ball. And Asad try to open his ends now. Seems like a little bit late, but you never know. Batsmen like Asad can definitely change the direction of the game at any moment, and we expect them to do so. But Abir didn't leave him any room. Zipped the ball outside the off stump, and Asad was not able to connect it well enough and was in keeper's hand for a dot ball.
I would love to see Master Blaster send in Karan Viradia. He's their experienced batter. His Series T20 strike rate is upwards of 140, and it's I think if it's the right time now for someone who has had the experience of playing a higher strike rate to come in and take matters into their hands. At this point, this sort of run rate isn't helping, and Thunderbolts are not letting the pressure noose loosen.
As quickly as our scoreboard, electronic scoreboard, get updated, we'll let you know who the new batsman in. But you can probably see on this screen who the new batsman is. We're not able to. It was a great shot. Again, down to mid-off. Ball was in the air. Connected well, but straight in the hands of the Captain Harmeet Singh for just 1 run. Yeah, we're having some 5G issues in technical terms. Not able to refresh the scorecards at this time, but hopefully we get it all. Small drink breaks at the point will definitely help us to catch up with the scorecard. Until few balls before it was 68 for 3, and Khalid Zadran joined in with Muhammad Asad, and Asad tried to open his arms for first few times we've seen throughout this innings. Holding it forward though, but no, I don't know. I'm not sure if this will definitely help or not. Your take, Shield.
No, that's clearly they're they're sending out a message by sending in Khalid Zadran. He's obviously been their best bowler, but he has a reputation of striking some big ones. So they're sending him in here clearly to hike up the run rate, and some exciting overs ahead. I can feel. Funny Simadri back in attack. They have used him sparingly. They've not given him a spell. They've brought him in 1 over spells, and he's had a tremendous impact on this game. 2 overs for 5 runs. This is his 3rd over. Once again bowling across the batsman, not giving any room to free their arms. And again, they're not getting the timing right on that. He's bowling an impeccable line out here, and it's coming at a height after bounce that's difficult for a batsman to get under. So he's had a tremendous impact since coming into the game.
No, he's definitely looks like a great T20 bowler, because how he's bowling, he's pitching outside the off stump, bringing the ball in, and it's not short pitch, it's short of length, and it's coming to the body, the batsman, not allowing batsmen to go anywhere. Another great ball going outside the off stump. This was a little bit fuller. Batsman thought it's probably gonna go wide, and but it was well within the wide line, and it was a dot ball. Funny again on his stride. Let's see what Zadran gonna treat this ball. And we expected beautiful shot over extra cover, and this is the first shot from Master Blaster, which kind of put a signature on their batting lineup and a little bit of a scar in Thunderbolts bowling, but beautiful shot by Zadran over extra cover for a 6. Great shot. Beautiful looking. That's the first 6 of the inning. Second 6 of the inning. Now this ball called for a treatment. It was a little bit on Fuller, outside the off stump, well within the reach. Zadran didn't hesitate to open his arms up to go over extra cover boundary over Captain Hermes Singh head. That's almost like 80 yard 6, 80, 90 yard 6. So beautiful shot. Funny again on his run up. Let's see. It seems like a good contest so far. And again, oh, Funny went for it, but it was a slower one by Funny. I mean, that's a good comeback by Funny. He threw a slower ball, same pitch, same line, same length, and this time Zadran missed it totally, wasn't able to connect, and just got a single.
Rolled his finger on that ball, and once again, this time the ball was dragged a little further than the batsman. The batsman had to reach out, Khalid Zadran, and that went right up in the air and fell in a no man's land between 3 fielders. I think there was a little bit of confusion on who was calling for it, but that fell in a no man's land. Not an easy one, not an easy catch though, by any stretch of imagination, but sometimes some good fielders make it very easy, make it look very easy. Once again, Khalid Zadran not stopping at anything this time. One risk too many on his book, I guess. He was going for the summit in every single ball, and finally he falls by the sword for going for the attack there. A small, sweet cameo from Khalid Zadran, but once again, that man, Funny Simadri, deceiving the batsman with a slower ball, and he was into the shot much faster than the ball, and it went up, a good, steady catch on the deep.
Oh, true. Khalid did bring a little bit of excitement into Master Blaster inning, and was able to connect few shots. But finally, when you are trying to hit every ball, this kind of thing happened. He went in the hands of Manu Jacob, took a fine, neat and clean catch, and it's a 4th wicket down for Master Blaster. We have to see who's going to come up next to show a little bit longer and better cameo than Kalizadran. We're still having some technical difficulty with the scorecard, but Sheila and Arvind are definitely giving a good shot to find out who was the name of the next batsman. But we will sure update you as soon as we see it. Shadley back on the attack. Again, shot of length, right on the middle stump. No room for batsmen to go anywhere. Pushed it to this extra cover region for a single.
Shadley continuing the great work he has been doing through the season for Seattle Thunderbolts, number 2 on the bowlers leaderboard overall. And had 2 wonderful economic overs today at the top when Prithu was going for some aggressive shots. 9 runs from his 2 overs, and now at the business end of the match.
17 overs gone, 80 for loss of 4 wicket, and the next batsman is Venu Kalyan joining Asad. Asad facing Shadley. Oh, the ball was down the leg, and Asad read it very well and sort of scooped it towards the fine leg before there was no fielder at the fine leg region. Good shot by Asad. Could be a little late in the game, but hey, runs are runs, and if it's coming in 4s and 6s, that's always a good excitement for the viewers and audience, and definitely it's a great shot. It was a treat to watch. Shadley, it wasn't a great ball by Shadley, but Shadley coming in again. 3rd ball of this over. And Asad try to push it over the mid-on region, but will only be able to concede only a single. His score has moved on to 85.
Another intentional induction. Venu Kalyan Madhireddy is an experienced batsman, and he's got a good T20 record across. Over 1,000 runs playing in the Series T20 across different leagues. So he's in here with a clear-cut brief of going for big shot, and if one look at that one shot that he's just tried, he was going for the big one.
That's right. At the fag end of the inning, the batsmen have to throw caution to the wind. They do have wickets in hand, so it's quite understandable that the batter is going for the big hits. Shadley making life difficult for the batsman. That was a very risky single, and if the mid-wicket fielder had hit the stumps directly, it was the batters were gone. The Thunderbolts dugout having some fun at the expense of Andreas, who's a phenomenal pro in his own right. Funny back into the attack for his final over. At 87 for 4, we had thought that, oh, was that a no ball? Yeah, rightfully called no ball. Funny, it was attempting to change his line, saw the batsman come down the wicket, Made an attempt to change his line, but in doing so, lost his length. A comfortable ball above waist height on the offside. So no ball. The batsman did cross over, so that allows the Thunderbolts to reset their field. They have square leg, cow corner, long on, long off, and the cover boundary. Let's see what the batters do. Oh, smartly bowled on the off stump. A little bit on the fourth stump line. Did not. The length was good. Did not let the batsman to get under the ball, resulting in a single to covers. No damage done there. At this point in time, the Master Blasters would be delighted to post something in the vicinity of 115. Another big hit. This one going to third man. The fielder coming under the ball. Did he lose sight of that under the sun? Unclear. Ran in over. Thought he misjudged the length of the ball a trifle bit there. And then spilling a catch. Could have been another dagger. You expect those to be taken at this level of the game, Shield?
Totally. Once again, the fielder came in too soon and too ahead. And the ball fell a little behind. So that kind of resulted in a slightly poor judgment there. Oh, beautiful! That's classic funny that he's been doing all through the day, all through the innings today. Waiting his length, waiting his pace. This was a slower ball on the off stump. The batsman played all over it and losing his stump. Fantastic bowling. What a great, impactful addition to the squad today from Thunderbolts. Bringing in Funny. As you mentioned, he was out not by choice. He was recovering from COVID. But once he's gone through the protocols and back, he was right immediately back in the squad, and he's had a tremendous impact already in this game, barring one, a couple of loose balls maybe in his fourth over. But he's had a tremendous impact, and finally reward with a much well-deserved wicket.
Spot on, Shield. He's made an instant impact for the Thunderbolts today. And his versatility has meant that Harmeet could shuffle his bowling lineup. And it was amazing that Funny didn't seem to need any long spells to be in rhythm. It's so hard for a bowler to come back for 4 different one-over spells. And Funny rising to that challenge. And on these pitches, we've talked about this in the past, you need to have variety, and Funny doing an exemplary job changing his pace right through the day. That final ball, which knocked out the off stump, it's around, 15 miles an hour slower than his stock delivery. The batsman playing too early, losing shape, and then eventually his off stump. Very good bowling by Funny. Sure, the occasional boundary is been scored off his bowling, but overall, an outstanding bowling display.
Jignesh Patel is the new batsman, and he clearly he has his intentions clear. He's got his brief clear from the. That could have made a bit close. The second run, slightly wayward throw coming from the boundary, and Jignesh takes 2 to open his account. About 8 more deliveries to go in this innings for the Master Blasters, and they are still not 100. Seeing Funny Smadri once again. Now that's another slow ball. Slightly shoddy work by the wicketkeeper at the back. An easy extra being gained by the Master Blasters, a bye. But that's purely because of the deception from the bowler. He's wearing his pace. Like Arvind mentioned, there's a significant difference in the pace from his stock ball, and he's wearing the pace in 2 or 3 different varieties. That's not only deceiving the batsman, but also his own wicketkeeper in that instance. The last ball of his spell today. Again, an economical one, full outside the off stump. The batsman came out of the crease. In the process, he yorked himself. All he could do was push towards the long off, take a single. It's going to be Shadley for the last over. And Asad, who is 6 balls away in carrying the bat through this innings, he's got his he's got his work cut out in this particular over when he gets on strike to go hell for leather.
That's right. Six balls left to go. I reckon the Master Blasters would be happy to put in to get a score to around 110. 96 at the end of 19. 6 balls left to go. Shadley always looks for wickets, but the last over is one where they would be happy conceding singles of every ball. This one stroke to long off. Harmeet comes in, keeps it down to a single. So 5 balls left to go. The score 97. The Thunderbolts will be delighted to keep it within 100. This one, good length on the 4th stump line. The batsman trying to heave it over mid-wicket, not getting hold of it. Runs to short mid-wicket for a quick single. At this stage of the game, any ball that's not a boundary ball is a win. A dot ball or a single will be golden. And as far as the Master Blasters are concerned, they would love to get at least one boundary, 1-4. Is that the one? No. This one going miles in the air, falling harmlessly though between mid-wicket and cow corner. Very good effort by Andrews over there. Running backwards is always hard. This one went a fair distance in the air, but Andrews had to go all the way from short covers towards cow corner.
For a moment, I said that was an easy catch for Andreas, going by the traditional South African way of catching. Seen some terrific catches over the years taken by some of the celebrated fielders from that country. Once again, Shadley this time. Arvind, I am sure the team Thunderbolts sat down to make a good strategy around how to bowl on this wicket, because every single bowler seems to have come with a plan. They have varied their length, they've varied their line and speed and roll the fingers. They've not gone with their natural tendency to bowl fast, the faster bowlers, or to tweak the ball, the spinners. They've worked with variations, and clearly and there's another wicket there. The comedy of errors, you might say. The batsman missing the ball, unfortunately tripping over there. I hope he's not injured himself. The non-striker eager to get back on strike. And the stumps are broken. We'll have to see who is who is out in that, because both of them seem to be in that side of the wicket. Always unfortunate to see a cricketer getting injured, or any sports person getting injured on the field of play.
If ever a run out should be credited to a bowler, that was one. Shadley mixing his deliveries really well. Back-to-back slow balls. The batsman going for a heave, not connecting, forcing the non-striker to go for a non-existent single, resulting in a run out. Asad is still in there, I believe. Jignesh is the batsman who got out. Yeah, it was a case where Asad tried to play the drive, fell over, and therefore had no chance to respond to the call of the non-striker. It was going to be a risky single either way. But it's an outstanding finish to the game from the Thunderbolts, keeping them to less than 100. This is a dream start for them. Now, they say in cricket you can never judge a pitch until both sides have batted. That said, this is a covered cricket pitch. If Andreas and Jagrup give them the kind of start that they got last time around, they could coast to a win here. But we don't want to put the commentator's curse yet, Sheel. I will say the Master Blasters have some good bowlers up their ranks as well. So this could yet be a contest. Good final ball. The batsman running for a single. They get one. It's a bye. Making no contact, but the non-striker took a good head start. A wonderful finish to the first inning. At the end of over number 20, the Master Blasters reach a century for the entire team. So 100 at the end of 20. The Thunderbolts need to score at a economy rate of a shade over 5 runs and over. This has been a contest that has been dominated by the bowlers so far. Asad has been playing the sheet anchor role for the Master Blasters. Prithu Baskota, I thought, played a very fluent inning and really was the only batsman who seemed to be playing on a completely different pitch. He was aggressive, 5 boundaries in 26 balls, but practically everybody else found the bowling of the Thunderbolts tricky. The Thunderbolts, meanwhile, using 6 different bowlers. Funny Samadri playing his first game was outstanding. 4 overs, 2 for 21. Harmeet, very economical at bowling at 3.5 runs and over. 4 overs, none for 14. Opening the bowling along with Anirudh was Shadley. 4 overs for 19. Anirudh, 2 overs, none for 14. And in between, I thought Nithal and Abir Chippa bowled really well. Nithal, 1 wicket, 2 overs, 1 for 12. And Abir Chippa, 4 overs, 2 for 15. The spinners, Harmeet, Nithal, and Abir, really strangled the batsmen, gave them very little to work with. And to some extent, Shiel, this is where home conditions and a lack of familiarity with the grounds can really hurt a side. Here in Klahani, especially against the spinners, the productive shots are all straight down the ground. If you look at the dimensions of this ground, the straight boundaries are on the shorter side. The boundary square of the wicket are pretty long. The outfield is lush and thick. Therefore, the only way to attack the spinners here, I feel, is straight down the wicket. And we did not see that at all from the Master Blasters. And that's perhaps down to a little bit of lack of familiarity. I'm sure they're going to go back and analyze where they scored their runs, where the opportunities were left on the ground. They didn't look to attack the spinners. They didn't look to put pressure on them. And to credit to the Thunderbolts, they rotated their bowlers well. We've talked about how Funny bowled in 4 different spells. Shadley bowling his opening 2 and coming back to round out the inning. But overall, a very disciplined effort from the Thunderbolts. There weren't that many bad or loose balls, sure. In the course of any inning, you're going to find half a dozen to 10 balls, some of which were taken advantage of. But overall, a pretty disciplined bowling effort from the Thunderbolts.
That's a great summary about the whole innings, Arvind. I agree with you that, as I mentioned earlier, Thunderbolts seem to have come with a solid homework behind them. They didn't capitalize on the home condition on one of the games last week. They came into their own in the next one, and this one, it was a complete professional approach, a professional performance from all the bowlers. Like you mentioned, it's straight down in the V's, the best place to score. In fact, the 2 big sixes that happened came in there. But once again, credit to the bowlers. They did not give those lengths that the batsmen could free their arms straight to the wicket. They were bowling either wide of the stumps or waiting their speeds, bowling into the body of the batsman. That did not give them enough space to come and take chances in front of the wicket. So as we see, it will be good to see how we go from here for the next inning.
And we have a very special guest here at our dugout. A man who's played 350 international matches for his country. Won a World Cup when nobody expected, the 1996 World Cup winning captain, Arjuna Ranatunga. We are delighted to have you here, sir. It's fantastic to see you be a mentor for the team. We would love to have a few words with you. How do you find cricket out here in the Pacific Northwest?
I think you have a long way to go, but you could see a lot of talent. You could see a lot of talent coming from some of these young players. The important factor is that you need to give them the proper facilities. I know that it's too early to call all these things, but it's if you want to get into the next level, it is very, very important for these cricketers to play with some of the other. I'm not talking about the top countries, at least a second layer or the third layer. I can say I saw a lot of matches in LA as well. You could see a lot of talent coming up, but unfortunately, you need to provide them with turf wickets, the proper facilities, infrastructure is not there. It's a different country. Like in USA, cricket is not the most or the popular thing. But if the ICC wants to push it, I think the USA and China are the best two countries to get into the next level as soon as possible. That has been the target for the ICC when I was at Sri Lanka Cricket, when I was heading Sri Lanka Cricket. So you need to have a proper plan, implement it, maybe get a couple of schools to start playing cricket. I know that a lot of Asian subcontinent people are living in this part of the world. So it is important for them to carry the game into the next level.
Very well said, Arjun sir. And again, pleasure to have you. And we not only feel honored. I mean, this is a day when we've never thought that we will sit along with a legendary figure, Arjun Ranatunga, and World Cup winning team. Let me take you back to your young days when you were playing the final of the World Cup that you won. I mean, share with us so we can learn. I mean, I'm not learning anything because I'm too old, but these kids who are watching, our audience, our viewer, what their mental strength should be when you are playing at such a high level, so they can start learning right now and start building their cricketing career from this point.
No, whatever you do, whether it's a sports or any other profession, you have to go out there to do the best. If you want to be the second best, then don't do it. So if you want to play cricket, play to get to the top. I know that it is far too early to comment on these things in USA, but I think the younger kids, I have seen a lot of younger generation. They are getting into cricket in this part of the world. It's a good sign, at least, that there are a lot of Indians, there are a lot of Pakistanis, Bangladesh, Sri Lankans are there. So that is where the implementation should come in, and there are West Indians living in LA. So through them only you can get this game into the USA citizens, but at least that maybe the second or the third generation from Asian subcontinent can work on this. I'm sure that will be an eye opener for all the countries. Coming back to my days, I'm delighted to captain a country which had a lot of talent. I had a very talented cricketing team, very committed team. It was not the best cricketing team, I will say, but they were the most committed 10 guys I had in my entire career. They were committed to play for the country. Whatever the target was given, they gave 100% to achieve those things. And we changed a lot of things. We got two openers to start attacking from the first over. That was never happened. But we thought that if we wanted to get into a top league, like win a World Cup, win something good, maybe we have won a Asia Cup. But overall, it was all about creating new things. I think that is what we did, and I'm very glad that I had someone like Aravinda De Silva in my side. I always say that he was one of the best I have seen and played against or played with. So it was all about commitment, and I feel that the younger generation, if they want to get into cricket, try and get into cricket to do the best, to be the number one rather than be the number two.
How are you enjoying this role now at this stage of your career, being a mentor to teams like the Hollywood Master Blasters? I'm sure you're pretty excited for your son to be playing there. How is his cricket shaping up?
I was more keen to see him doing his studies rather than playing cricket. So that's one reason that we came to America, and he's doing well in his studies. And I came for my daughter's graduation. She got her master's in foreign whatever I'm not very good at all these things, but so I had little time to spend with them. So I'm just helping them, just to tell them what sort of things they should to need. So we have got some young cricketers, like there are two under 19 guys are playing. So it's a good sign actually. It's a very good implementation by whoever who did to play two younger guys under 19. Maybe have another under 23 guy as well. So that is where you need the younger generation to get into the next level. And I think the turf cricket is a must. I heard that you all have got a new ground, done a wicket, so it takes little time to get to the next level. But I'm very glad wherever I go, especially when you play this minor league, I see a lot of interest among a lot of subcontinent people in this part of the world. It's a very good sign. I'm very happy for it.
Quick, funny question for you. If I were to choose, you go and play bat right now. How much score can we expect from you?
No, when I gave up cricket, when I finished cricket, I didn't want to start again. I'm just helping. Like I do a little bit of not so-called coaching. I do mentoring when I even back home. I do a lot of talking about leadership things. Rather than that, I'm in politics. I have been in the parliament for last 18 years. So I have got a break this time. So I'm enjoying my life for a change, spending little time, more time with the family. So that has been neglected very badly with my cricket and politics. So the USA trip has been a very good 1 month for me so far. So I'm hoping to spend about another month, help these younger cricketers. I have seen, like I met a lot of younger boys and girls playing cricket. So it's a good sign.
So, quick question about the world's participation in upcoming countries, basically. So, how can some of the top cricket playing countries participate in system like this? Sending some of their upcoming domestic players to participate in minor leagues. How can that be a process that other boards, especially of the established cricket country boards, can take to help other countries develop their cricket? What's your thought process around that?
I don't know. Earlier there was when I was at the ICC, I was heading Sri Lanka cricket at that time in 2009. There was a program where a big country, so-called a big country, look after a up and country. I think West Indies were looking after USA. India was handling Canada, and we were handling Nepal. So or Bangladesh. So it was all about the top cricketing nation need to help. It's not the financial help I'm talking about. It's all about the technical help, which if you can get some coaches, maybe payment should be given by those countries, and accommodation, and maybe the food should be given by this part of the world. And I'm sure that there will be a lot of people who will come and help, because if you don't give them the proper technique, proper help, I think it is very difficult for them to get to the next level. So I think that some of the ICC countries are trying to do that, but it's all about get some. It doesn't have to be the real professional one. There are past cricketers who are willing to come and help. I know that there are a lot of Sri Lankans are helping in some of the other countries. There are good coaches. I think for the younger generation to teach them the proper game. I'm not talking about this 2020 game. I'm looking at the longer version where the technique comes important. I think that is where I'm very, very scared with the shorter version of the game. Shorter version is very important for entertainment, but important factor as far as I see, I can't see the younger generation looking at their technique or concentrating on their technique. I don't know whether we might not able to see a Gavaskar or maybe Tendulkar, maybe someone like Javed Miandad or David Gower, maybe Aravind De Silva in another 20, 10, 15 years time. So that is the biggest scare I have for the game. Apart from, yes, it is good to get 2020 into scene where people will be interested in playing 2020, but overall for the younger kids, maybe work with them for a longer period, maybe about 20, without 20 overs, maybe 40 overs, get them to work on their technique. The hitting part anyone can do, but the technique is the biggest worry I have. I'm not talking about only the batting part, even the bowling part. I think some of these new players are more keen on bowling 4 overs and get to a side and earn a buck, rather than looking at working hard to bowl about 15, 20 overs like which Kapil Dev or Imran Khan. I'm just referring to the Asians because there are more Asians will be listening to that. So that is something I will be very scared will not have in the future. So it is very important for the coaches even here work on the technique. Yes, for me, 2020 is entertainment, but for a longer version is it's like getting proper food from your parents.
Do you miss not playing 2020?
Tell you, not really. I have never played cricket for money. I've never done ad in my life. Because I have done charity ads only. I'm more keen to see good cricketers coming up, proper technique and cricket play in a proper spirit. So those are the things I miss now. But I help even back home. I do um, once a month. I go out station and do a small training. It's not only the cricket part, it's badminton, football, volleyball. It's like a camp. I do go to a village and get hold of about 100 people, 100 children and work on them. But I'm a little scared of the proper cricket. It's about the technique. That's the biggest scary I have. But cricketers are well off now. They are getting money. But for me, money is not the most important thing. You need money to live, but if I'm going to live for money, that will be a problem in the future.
Thank you so very much, sir. Truly, truly honored, appreciative. I mean, no words can even fulfill the joy we had talking with you, and absolutely our audience and our viewers. They absolutely be delighted to hear from you. And thank you for being in USA. Thank you for being with us. Thank you so very much. Be part of the world cricket, Sri Lankan cricket, and again for everything. One small request: this kid won a what? He won a best catcher. I would like to invite you to award him. Thank you.
That's a delightful scene out there. The legend presenting a cap to the young lad out there for taking a fantastic catch. That was an absolute honor to have Arjuna Ranatunga out here in our commentary. Um, Sri Lankan cricket could perhaps be defined in as the pre-Arjuna era and the post-Arjuna era. When Sri Lanka won in 1996, it was in a way akin to India's 1983 moment. Um, Running up to the World Cup, very, very few people would have given either team a chance. Not only did the teams go deep, but they shocked the world winning the tournaments. And Sri Lanka, I have to say, changed the way countries approach batting in the top half of the inning. I vividly remember in the run up to the World Cup in 1996, Sri Lanka going to Australia. And at that point in time, Kalu and Jayasuriya were not exactly household names, but boy, did all of that change in a hurry. And a lot of credit has to go to seniors in that squad like Arjuna and Arvinda De Silva. And a hallmark of Arjuna's captaincy really was challenging established beliefs, never backing up, backing his players to a T. What a fabulous job done by that man. But meanwhile, We are about to resume action here. It's going to be a confident Thunderbolts. They don't have a very high target. They can afford to pace their inning today. The required run rate is just a shade over 5 runs and over. If they keep wickets, this should be a comfortable one. But you never know. You never know. Cricket is a funny game.
I'll let you give you a few moments to eat, gentlemen. Arvind and Sheel. Enjoy your food. And first ball of the second inning, Khalil Zadran and Andreas Goss pushed it to the mid wicket for a single. What a mesmerizing moment, guys, huh? Sitting with Arjun Rantunga, the legendary figure, and asking him a question. I hope our viewers enjoyed this. You don't get many of these opportunities in life to see, to interview, to talk, to be with them, these kind of legendary figures. So I'm absolutely thrilled. Radran on his, I think he's coming right around the wicket for Jagrup Rana, the Jaggu Dada of Seattle Thunderbolt. What a talent. Young 19-year-old, had a pure hit, nice connection. Last game we watched him playing riders, bowlers. Truly, truly enjoyed. Jagrup gonna face his first ball of this inning. Ball was short of plant, going outside the off stump. Jagrup just let it go. Full respect to the ball. I don't feel Thunderbolt would be in a hurry to get this run rate, and I'm sure when they receive the loose ball, they're gonna go for it. Especially first 6 overs power play. We have only one fielder out on a deep mid-wicket square leg region. This ball is going outside the leg, and it touched the pad. Seems like the umpire did not give a wide. The group asking umpire didn't touch my bat or pad. Oh, this ball was a dot ball. 2 dot ball in this over. Southern. Ooh, this ball came in from here. It looks like a little high. Pitched on off stump. Came into the group, but a little bit high. And umpire didn't hesitate to turn down Jordan's appeal for LBW. So far, a good over from Master Blaster point of view. Only 1 run in 4 balls. Sadhan again to Jagrup, and Jagrup this time tried to open his hand, try to push it towards the point, but wasn't able to connect the ball nicely. Ball was a little bit on full, wasn't that short pitch that he should have gone for this hit, but dot ball again. Good over so far. Khalid Zadran on his run-up for the last ball of this over. And this ball was on a leg stump. I didn't see it was a great ball, but Jagrup again tried to defend the ball, wasn't able to connect it. Good over so far.
Yeah.
Venu Kalyan taking over the second over of. Oh, that's a beautiful shot by India's Goss. We have to still see if it's 4 or 6. It was a beautiful connection. What a timing by India's Goss. Ball overpitched outside the off stump. Took a stride out towards the cover and pushed it over the cover for 4. Beautiful looking shot. What a connection. That is why the viewers are here to watch that kind of cricket, and Thunderbolt is delivering it. Little pressure on Venu. First ball of his fresh over, and it went for 4. Venu on his mark. Oh, this time India wanted to push it just down the extra cover region, but ball took the edge of his bat, went over towards the third man, in air for a little while, but no damage done. Went for a single.
Andreas Gauss starting from where he left last week. He had a phenomenal run last week. He is sitting number 2 on the leaderboard for runs all across the minor league championship. But that shot that went up in the air was slightly a misjudged shot from his side. I mean, it was a nothing shot. In the end, trying to roll his wrists when the ball was halfway up his body, and it ballooned up. Thankfully, it fell in no man's land. No damage done to Thunderbolts' chase for the moment. Jagrup on strike. Venu on the leg stump, nicely played. The steady shot. Turn around the corner towards square leg. Quick single. That takes the score to 6. 6 without loss. I like the steady head with which Andreas plays. He's not just he has good hands. His head is he pushes his head towards the ball, which kind of gets him all the momentum. Once again, waited for the ball to sit up nicely and played the shot. That was sublime timing out there. The ball raced through the boundary line. 4 runs.
Oh, what a great shot on the rise. Ball was a little short of length. Came up to his waist height, and he didn't hesitate and took the ball on the rise and put it away for 4 at cover region. Now, Master Blaster had put a fielder out there at deep cover, and let's see Venu on his mark for the fifth ball of this over. This time, ball was a little slower delivery outside the off stump, just tapped in towards the gully region for a single.
Those 2 extra cover drives for 4s were just absolutely exhilarating, Alok. For our viewers, the closest analogy I can give is that Dinesh Karthik last ball 6 in the Nidas Trophy when they scored like an ungodly number of runs in the last over to win the game. I remember the flat 4s and 6s to the cover area. Andreas replicated that not once but twice in that over. It seemed like mere push, and the ball just absolutely raced. I want to say the second of those almost cleared the boundary for a 6. Beautiful timing and showing the full face of the bat. You should say the balls were a little bit overpitched. But even as I was waxing eloquent right there, that was a wicked delivery. Shaping in and castling the batsman. What a wonderful ball. An extraordinary over that.
I think that was a wrong decision by Andreas Goss to take this ball on a back foot, because ball was a little bit on a fuller side, and of course it was coming in, zipped into him as he went back foot. We do make sometimes the wrong decision, but in my opinion, he should have come on a front foot and defended it. That would have been much more easier. So it's a T20, boys. Cricket is a funny game. What goes in bowler's mind, batsman's mind, they know. We can all sit and watch from here and think what they're thinking, but that's not the case.
Yeah, Andres is utterly cross with himself. And you said it right, Alok. That was not a ball. I felt Andres was caught at the crease. A little bit not making the commitment to go forward. Certainly not one to stay back. Um, and that ball nipped in. It was bowled of good pace, nipped in, crashing into the middle stumps of a good length, perhaps fuller than a good length, I would say. Um, but excellent contest here between bat and ball. The Master Blasters showing that they're going to make a match out of this. In a very important breakthrough. Andres has looked phenomenal in all his innings so far for the Thunderbolts. This should give the Master Blasters a lot of confidence going into over number 3.
Huge success for Master Blaster because India's got absolutely the backbone of Thunderbolts batting, and they definitely have good batsmen alongside, but he's the one who's been successful so far, and it will be a huge setback for Thunderbolts. Hopefully they'll recover it soon from the setback. Prajit Moody on the new batsman on the strike. And good bowling so far this over. Yep, Khalid Zadran first ball he got. India's got and goes clean ball. Good ball again over pitch. Outside off stump coming in. Prajit played it nicely. Back to extra cover for a dot ball.
Yep, Khalid Zadran has been their best bowler this tournament. If there is one bowler that Seattle Thunderbolts would be wary of, that's him. And he is living up to his promise here for sure. So it's not going to be an easy chase by the look of it. Obviously, it has to be worked hard for Thunderbolts. They have the arsenal to do that, and they're doing it. In my opinion, they're doing it well by being a little cautious. Although Andres played a few audacious cover drives or shots through the covers, but it's I think the right tactic right now to keep it a little sedate, capitalize on and see through Khalid, and then potentially capitalize on the other bowlers.
Yeah, Khalid has been the strike bowler for the Master Blasters. His spells this tournament has been wonderful. Oh, mixing in there with a slower one to the left-hander. But Khalid's figures have been outstanding. 4 for 15 in game number 1, none for 11 in game number 2, 2 for 18 in game number 3. He's been incisive. He's been economical. He's been the heart and soul of the Master Blasters bowling attack. And sure enough, gets Andres out here with the peach of a delivery. That was a wonderful one that came in. And what's very interesting to see is how well he's bowled to both the right-hander and the left-hander, changing his bowling from over the wicket to around the wicket, coming around the wicket for the lefties. But his length has been absolutely impeccable. The line has been constantly on off stump or fourth stump. The occasional ball cutting in. And he's been able to cut the ball into both the right-hander and the left-hander. Several of those deliveries that Jagrup was cautiously defending were balls coming in. What this, what the relatively low target though has enabled the Thunderbolts to do is gives them the opportunity to see off Zadran. They don't have a very high asking rate. They can afford to be conservative, play out the good bowlers. And when the opportunity presents itself, the bad ball comes in, surely help it along the way. The tactic in the power play is nevertheless interesting. If they get off to a good start, it's going to ease the pressure completely. But from how they've approached the the last 5 or 6 balls after Andreas' dismissal, it tells me that they're going to take it conservatively.
Definitely, India's wicket put a little dent on. Meanwhile, great shot by Prajeet. It ball was not that over pitch. It was shot off the land, going outside the off stump, and he took his stride out and try to push it over the cover. Little miss hit, but gone over point boundary for 4. But what I was saying, there's a little dent on Thunderbolts' strategy by losing India's wicket, but hopefully, since target is not that big, they should be easily able to achieve this target. Again, little bit over pitch. Prajeet took his stride out again and went over the extra cover this time for double. Good over so far for Thunderbolts, 6 run and 2 ball. Yeah, Vinu's first over wasn't impressive either, and second over again it started very well in favor of Thunderbolt. So, in my opinion, the bowler should support the great over bowled by Jadran in last over only for 1 run and 1 wicket. That the crucial wicket of Thunderbolt's team. He should be more careful and mix his bowling and put some challenge out there for Thunderbolt.
Yeah, it's so far been a case of offering too much width on the off stump. So even though the lengths have been good, it's enabled Prajeet to really open his shoulders and go at it. There isn't that much cover for him. He does have a deep third man right now. But you're right, Alok. They say the great sides, the great bowling sides, the effective squads, the bowlers hunt in pairs. On the one hand, you have Khalid Zadran bowling phenomenally. 2 overs, 1 wicket for 1 run. Admittedly, at this level of the game in the minor league, it's going to be difficult to bring your level best. But what this over has meant is relieve some pressure from the Thunderbolts. Which again means that they can afford to play Khalid Zadran out because they're getting runs on the other end. And that is something that the Master Blasters had to be careful about. Meanwhile, a much better delivery. Still foolish on the off stump. Outside the off stump, the batsman able to guide it to third man for a single. No risk. I mean, the the problem with Venu's overs has been that the batsmen have been in no trouble and they've been able to get runs with a minimum of risk. To defend a target of 100, I suspect you're going to see a bowling change come. But Khalid has been wonderful. It's been absolutely wonderful. I'm tempted to give him another over if I were his captain to see whether you can get a breakthrough. Because he seemed to trouble both Jagrup and Prajeet, but they were able to defend him. What do you do? What do you do here, Alok? Do you go for the kill and try to get one more wicket, or do you just hold him back?
Well, these are the power play overs, and let me check with you. Which other bowler from Master Blaster impressed you, beside Khalil Jadran? What's your stats say?
Karan Viradia has been reasonable.
Current.
Karan Viradia has been reasonable. Nazar Patel is a pretty experienced campaigner himself as well. Those are the players whom I reckon are choices to replace Khalid.
No, that's great information for our viewers. Seems like Master Blaster, we have to wait and watch and see how Nisarg and Karan delivers to Thunderbolt. But at this point, 3 overs gone in power play, 3 more overs. Let's see if this new bowler on a stride, what difference he makes if he delivers. Seems like we have a spinner now. Could probably provide some challenge. As our electronic scorecard having difficulties again in refreshing. We don't know the name of the bowler yet at this point, but that was a good ball. A little bit deceiving for Prajeet. He tried to go for it, but didn't connect it well. dropped right in front of extra mid-off bowler. Nisarg Patel is actually the bowler right now. First ball. Jagrup Rena will be facing Nisarg, but so far by watching the first ball, looks pretty promising. And we have seen spinners today being very successful in Thunderbolts bowling, and so far the first ball of Nisarg was very well bowled, pretty deceiving. Nisarg on a strike for the second ball. Again, good ball, fuller ball. Sheel, want to add some?
No, I think sending Prajit out here is a clear message from the Thunderbolt side that they want to mix aggression with safe batting, and Prajit has been a safe house for them. He's not a quintessential hard hitter of the ball. He plays percentage cricket, and the two shots that he's played in the air were all measured, safe, taking complete control over it, at the same time capitalizing on the close-in field right now as part of the power play. It was played with, he knew exactly what he was doing there. Again, he's someone who is high on technique and less on risk, and sending him out there is a clear plan that they want him to hold one end as they slowly but steadily make this chase count. One thing that we need to keep an eye is also the net run rate. So as much as they would like to do the chase properly, that's their first mission, they would also want to have some degree of urgency in that.
Shot.
So once again, the shot was a safe, classic, high technique shot, played to the man in the deep cover boundary for a single out here.
And I don't think there's much of a risk required here for Thunderbolts. Oh, this looks like a great shot again from Prajit. It's going over. Oh, the ball just landed right at the boundary line and did not take any roll at all. That's hard to see. As I said in the beginning, this ground is a little soggy at the areas, but wow, this shot deserved 4, but nobody else but the ground itself did a pretty good job of stopping the ball and saved a couple runs here. But yeah, no, absolutely, it's a power play, and so they don't need to take any risk. They're connecting the ball right. Prajit is playing good, like you said, pretty precise, pretty technical, and Jagrup is supporting him on the other hand as well. If no risk being taken, and first 8 to 10 over, if they could reach out the score, at least half of it, or close to 60, then this is a Seattle Thunderbolt game. Arvind.
Definitely, if they're able to go at this run rate and conserve wickets, that would be game over. The next 4 or 5 overs would be telling. The scorecard makes for interesting reading. Jagrup Raina is usually the aggressor. You've seen him last weekend. He was so pleasing on the eye last week, Alok. And really fluent shots, both sides of the wicket. He hasn't gotten as much of a strike today. I thought he took the brunt of Khalid Zadran's excellent opening spell of 2 overs. It's going to be interesting to see how this bowling change works. And very quickly onto the back foot, latching on and dispatching that to cow corner is Jagrup Raina. What a wonderful 6. That ball stood up, but it still had to be put away. And Jagrup was on his back foot so quick, and then muscled it to cow corner for a gigantic 6.
It seems like he heard you, Irvin, and he heard your comment that Jagrup is an aggressor, and to be honest with you, the technicality he plays very good on faster balls. The slower balls, he tend to be a little bit tentative, and that's why it took him some time. But that's a good start. That's how a batsman should bat. Read the ball properly again. This was a slower one. He just did not take any risk. Just pushed it toward the mid wicket and square leg reason for a run. But yeah, it seems like he's coming back to his form to be an aggressor, Irvin.
Absolutely, and Jagrup, all of 19 years old, so pleasing on the eye. And going back to the previous over, Prajit played a wonderful shot over mid-wicket. And the best way to describe that is what our fellow commentator Sheel said. That ball dropped like a golf ball would. on a chain link ground, dropping down and then didn't move a centimeter. Meanwhile, straying a little bit on the offside, glided to third man for a single. It's coming all too easily for the Thunderbolts right now. I suspect there's going to be a switch to spin from both ends not too soon. And again, this is where home conditions matter. If not for anything else, being able to understand what the pitch does and doesn't for your bowlers. You have a lot more turf pitches in California, mostly cement wickets here. The ball doesn't do as much for the spinners. It's line and length that's important. One more. This one was not all that short, but that was a swivel pull by Jagrup. Is that racing to the fore? Now the outfield does its best at limiting that to a 3. And Jagrup scampering in the very end to complete that 3. But that was so well played. Off the hips, off the back foot. A swivel pull for a 3, which should have been a 4 anywhere else.
Yeah, no, definitely. Anish seems to be quickest among the bowlers we have seen so far. However, his line of length has not been really impressive. And Jagrup, who plays the faster ball really good, and with this line of length, he's absolutely opening his ends up and going to his favorite area of leg side and adding some important run to Seattle Thunderbolts side. Sheel, you take.
No, I agree with both you and Arvind, Alok. I think it's a great example of how to play in the gaps. Both these batsmen are finding the gaps very well. Unfortunately, they've lost out on a couple of runs, few runs because of the outfield, and almost got an injury because the ball getting stuck in the thick grass out there in the non-striker's end. But this is a very safe and steady batting by these two. They are just pushing into the gaps and picking up the singles and picking up those 5 or 6 runs every over. That's keeping the scoreboard going forward, at the same time keeping them in the hunt quite comfortably. I think Prajit coming in and taking a few calculated risks has given Jagrup that little space to ease himself in. Like you mentioned, Arvind, he's a person who wants to go with the momentum, but was looking a little unsteady when he began, and then Andreas's wicket probably put a little undue pressure on him. But that few balls that he got to get his eye in, he looks much more comfortable, he's breathing easy, and Prajit has very masterfully taken the pressure off him.
That's right, and that's why, and very well said, Sheel. This combination of Prajit and Jagrup is going to be quite important for the Thunderbolts as the rest of the season unfolds. At the very top of the lineup, they have an attacking duo of Andreas and Jagrup, and somebody like Prajit who can come and, if he can be an anchor and work with the top and the bottom orders and be the glue, that can do wonders for the Thunderbolts. Prajit has played some pretty high-level cricket. He's, if I remember correctly, he's represented Andhra Pradesh in under-19 Ranjis, under-19 league tournaments. Meanwhile, a confident sweep played almost in front of off-stump. The length was such that he could go down on one leg and sweep it. So a nice sweep to fine leg for a couple.
Yeah, agree with you. Prajit looks a very sorted cricketer. He's got a good head on his shoulders. He's got a good range of shots. He's pretty wristy in his approach. He has got a solid defense and a good temperament. Looks like a good cricketer. I was looking at his strike rate, which didn't seem very impressive coming into a T20. But then world over, more and more teams are realizing that it's not always go a bang cricket, as they say. For T20, you need to have players who can hold one end up and help teams build. And that's out against the run of the against the run of the course. Suddenly, there's a ball that pitched on the leg stump, straightened up, and the batsman seems to be a little miffed about that one. He probably feels that the ball pitched outside the leg stump, but the umpire feels it was on the leg stump and straightened in and caught him in front of the stumps. That's against the tide. There's a wicket that goes down, which Thunderbolts would probably not have expected or wanted to have, and the Hollywood Master Blasters are back in the game here because the person to get out is Jagrup Raina, another player who was in solid form. So they have lost two of their aggressors at top. So be keen to see how the rest of the batting comes good. One of the things that I was looking at all the scores till now, I think a majority of the runs that have been scored by Thunderbolts this season has been their top four. That's been by Andreas, Jagrup, Shadley and Harmeet, apart from Prajit. So they've kind of exposed most of their cards already. So if they have to lose a few more wickets, it would be a good opportunity for some of the others who have not yet come to the party to pick up the cudgels and win this game for Thunderbolts. Again, it's still too early to say, but certainly Master Blasters are keeping themselves interested in the game.
That was the crucial wicket. Anytime you miss a sweep caught in front of the stumps, tends to be an easy decision. About the only question back there was whether the ball landed outside the line of the leg stump. Meanwhile, replacing Jagrup in the middle, one left-hander to another, is Shadley. It's a tidy over, adding pressure. He's maintained a good line. And 2 wickets is going to mean that any batsman coming in, the license for going for a shot's in there. Good cricket out there. Good cricket. Shadley getting off strike, pushing the ball to mid-wicket for a single. That's the end of a successful over from Nisar. It's 42 for 2. So 42 for 2 at the end of 7. The Thunderbolts are motoring along comfortably at a rate of around 6 runs an over. So it's really going to be a game where a contest that's going to be decided based on wickets. Meanwhile, we have a change of bowling. We're trying to identify the bowler here, number 19. Based on past. Okay, the bowler is Basant Regi. Basant has gotten a couple of wickets in the tournament so far. And I think it's a good change. It's a good change against the left-hander on strike. This pitch, if you can keep it tight, not offer any pace, and force the batsman to go take this risk over your head, then that's game on. A good first ball. Pitched on off stump, turning into Shadley, just a wee bit.
You said an important thing during the break, Arvind. You mentioned that this is a wicket where you need to play straight. You need to play straight. That's how you can capitalize and make it maximize on runs and also preserve your wickets better. Once again, we saw a cross-batted shot resulting in a wicket here. And that's where Prajit has been brilliant. He's played straight batted shots. He's not tried anything untoward. He's not gone square of the wicket. He's not tried to play many sweeps and cuts as much. He's used the big face of the bat to push and play some pure cricketing shots to get maximum runs. So I guess Jagrup, when he goes and reflects over that dismissal, would probably make a note that when he comes back tomorrow again, he would probably want to make a little bit of an amendment there, playing more straight rather than square of the wicket. Master Blaster slowing it down, taking a leaf of the Thunderbolts book. Their spinners were top class today, earlier in the day, and here again we see two spinners bowling in tandem now. And that would be the course for this particular game, I guess, Arvind. They would be having a ton of spinners who will probably come and bowl majority of their overs.
Definitely, that's the way to go on this pitch. Basant, again keeping it tight on the off stump. Shadley coming on the front foot, defending one, showing the full face of the bat. Project's batting looks so clean and easy on the eye. The whip to mid-wicket for a single was nice and simple. Basant adjusting his line now, coming over the wicket to the left-hander. Again, bowled well. Shadley not wanting to take any risk, flicking it to mid-wicket for a dot ball. That's the end of her over. A good one at that. Basant Regi, good over, good first over for the Master Blasters. And this is what they need to do. Keep bowling it tight. Hope that the batsman makes a mistake. And the end of 8 overs, score is 44 for 1. 44 for 2, beg your pardon. And the next 6 overs is going to be telling.
Arvind, I have a quick question for you.
Yes, sir.
This weather is hot and humid, and I'm sure, do you feel like it is making it hard for batsmen to hit bigger stroke because they're losing a lot of sweat quickly? What's your take on it?
Yeah, look, you didn't ask a question, you made a statement, and that's a very good one. It's a very good observation. It's muggy weather today. It's in the high 80s, almost approaching 90. Batsmen lose fluids very quickly. Oh, that's a good appeal. That's a good appeal there. It's a good appeal for a... Is that for a caught behind or a... Bowled? And I believe the batsman has been judged out. That's a phenomenal breakthrough for the Thunderbolts, for the Master Blasters there. Removing Projit. That ball seemed to hit the top of the bail. So a little bit of confusion. Ultimately checking with the batsman himself. And the keeper, a confident appeal. There's no question about it. This was not a stumping. The batsman clean bowled. 3 wickets down. It's an interesting turn of the events. This contest is not over, folks. Don't go anywhere. The Thunderbolts have lost the cream of their batting on the top. Wicket number 3. Very interesting turn of events.
Absolutely. The cat is well and truly amongst the pigeons now. This turns it everything because Prajit was really looking solid, and his presence out there would have been a solid source of confidence for the Thunderbolts. He was keeping one end tight. He was keeping the scoreboard moving. So his dismissal there was a key one. But all credit to the bowler. It's again well bowled. It was bowled at an unplayable length, and the ball came in and kept coming in against the expectation of the batsman, clipped right on the top of the off stump, which is where typically the spinners are aiming all the time when they're bowling on the stumps. So it's a wicket completely created by the bowler and inducing the mistake from the batsman. It's a very strong state right now. I think the game is well and truly open and on, and the Master Blasters are well and truly in it. We'll have to see how they can hold on their nerves. They've had fairly, uninfluential cricket till now, and they seem to be peaking at the right time today. At least they have caused a little bit of a flutter amongst the Thunderbolt. And I always feel that these kind of situations are great opportunities for people who have not yet put their hand up and got counted. And I think Thunderbolt, if they have one chink in their armor today, that is testing their entire batting lineup, and I hope the next few batters put their hand up and see this game through.
Harmeet is in along with Shadley, so they have their pros. So the Toyota Minor League Cricket Championships, there are around 27 teams all across the country playing the tournament. Meanwhile, a fluent cover drive to sweeper cover for a singles from Shadley. All 27 teams play in a very particular format. Around 8 local players, 2 under 19 quids from the local area, 2 free agents. Meanwhile, a thunderous shot from Shadley. What was that? That went many a mile. This was pitched up in the slot. It was Harmeet, right? Yeah. And that one was dispatched over long on for a massive 6. That he was onto the shot so quick. Harmeet Singh, the captain of the Seattle Thunderbolts, making his intent clear. He's not going to let the 3 wickets put any doubt in their mind. That was a shot, top drawer shot. It was pitched, it was in the slot, but it still had to be hit. And to pull it off so cleanly, just going for the shot requires a lot of courage and conviction in the context of the game. Because one more wicket would have been disastrous, but Harmeet equal to the task, hiking it over long on for an effortless 6. What a wonderful shot.
Oh, that was a great connection. It was a fantastic and treat to watch the shot. Absolutely phenomenal. But are you noticing that when spinners are bowling, their odd balls staying low and kind of like pitches holding it, and they're not, the bats going first and balls going after, and some odd balls are zipping through in. That's a good bowling by spinners. I mean, how are they doing it? I have to go and learn from them, but absolutely great bowling by Master Blasters spinners. Oh, that is a great ball. Totally missed. That another setback for such a great batsman, Shadley. They tried to go over bowler's head straight down the boundary, but ball took a little bit turn outside the off stump, was right on the middle, and it was clean bowled. What a great bowling. That's a huge setback. Now things are getting a little difficult for Thunderbolts, and we'll have to watch and see how Thunderbolt strategize this encounter and what their batting lineup and their mentor is talking about how to go. And it's just, are they going to go single or doubles, or still going to go strike the ball, Arvind?
I think they have no choice, Alok, but to get a partnership going. They've lost one too many wickets too quickly. The cream of their batting lineup, the folks who've scored all the runs, big runs up the top of the order, Andreas, Jagrup, Shadley, Prajit, they're back in the hut. This is going to be a very interesting contest from here on. Abhi Chippa now in the middle. If the bat ball comes along, look, I think they have to take full toll of that. But that said, I think getting a partnership going is going to be vitally important. I beg your pardon, it was Manu Jacob right now coming in the middle. We know Manu can bat.
It was a fantastic first bowl of the fresh over by Ajay, and great bowling. That was a bowl to watch, and totally deceived Shadley and clean and bold. Ajay again on his strike to bowl, and Manu Jacob will be facing him. A bit over the pitch. The first ball Ajay bowled didn't spin much. I believe Shadley was waiting for that ball to come in because Ajay is a leg spinner, and he wanted to go with the spin, but it didn't really spin. It went straight, and that's how he was clean bowled. Ajay again to Harmeet Singh. Harmeet went on the back foot. Ball came in from his off stump to the middle, pushed it to the point for a dot ball. The score is 53 for 4. 10th over running. Runs are good as long as Thunderbolts don't lose their wickets.
This is tricky because both these batsmen, uh, to some extent, probably have to curb their national instinct. Because we all know Harmeet loves to play the long shots. He has a reputation of hitting long sixes. But this is a, at least for the next 30 odd runs, 30, 35 odd runs, they will have to hunker down and ensure they find the gaps, play safe cricket. This is not easy, like Alok just mentioned. The ball is not coming onto the bat. It is stopping, and batsmen have to hold themselves back. They can't just commit into the shot. They might inevitably end up overplaying that, and that would either loop into a catch or they may lose their stumps. That's what has been happening since now, and I think we are sitting next to the dugout of Thunderbolts. There was a certain amount of energy there a while back. There's a certain degree of tense silence at this point, which is quite understandable. But there's a lot of batting yet to come, and there's some terrific young talent in that team. So not yet a complete shut shop for them. There's nothing much to worry, and they will have to just play the ball on the merit and make sure the next few overs, till the over number 15 or so, they might have to just play defensive cricket and ensure they just keep the scoreboard moving.
Meanwhile, a bowling change. Venu back in the attack. That's an interesting bowling change. The spinners, meanwhile, have had the most impact. I thought Ajay bowled a phenomenal over the previous one. Constantly attacking the stumps, making life difficult for the batsman. It is really well bowled. 1 over, 1 run for a wicket. That was golden, really, by Ajay Mahdi, making an immediate impact. That dismissal of Shadley was a huge blow. Perhaps the most experienced batter that the Thunderbolts have. So it's going to be interesting to see how Manu Jacob and Harmeet Singh counter this. And Shield said it right. You know, two batsmen who have a natural flair for their batting. This contest, though, is going to demand a little bit more vigilance and patience and accumulating the runs. Not losing a wicket is going to be crucial in the next 3 to 4 overs. If they can even get around 15 to 18 runs without the loss of a wicket, they can have a go at it at the end, Alok.
Absolutely. And you know, to all the viewers, Manu is a very good talent as well. I've seen him, watched him playing really some great cricketing shots. So very good potential, very good batsman. Along with Harmeet Singh. Ooh, that ball was shot off length, going outside the off stump. Manu came up, tried to defend the ball, didn't try to go for a stroke or anything, but totally beat them up. Ball went in the wicketkeeper's hand. So I can see, and you're right, Sheila, we can see pressure is mounting on Thunderbolts batsman Venu Kalyan, taking advantage of the situation at this point. And that was a good ball as well. Shot of the length, outside the off stump. Manu didn't take any chance, just pushed it to the point for no run. Another good over for Master Blaster shaping up. And Manu patiently watching the ball, playing few balls. And then as Arvind said, for next 3-4 over, let's not lose any wicket. Let's grab 10-15 runs. Good shot. On the pads, played it to the square leg for a run. And I think Arvind and Sheila, put your expert comment on it, but I'm thinking Venu coming back to this over, and because of the situation Thunderbolt is in, it gave Master Blaster a chance to save a few of their spinner for last overs, for the crucial last 3-4 overs. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. Very definitely. I think this is an opportunity for the Master Blasters to sneak a quick over from their pacers in. And Venu, to his credit, has maintained good lines outside the off stump and really bowling to his field. That has meant that it's been a reasonably economical over so far. No boundaries. The run rate is coming down as a consequence.
55 for 4, 11 overs.
So they're
45 required in 9, the rate of 5.
exactly 5 runs an over required. They've been motoring along around 5 to 6 runs an over so far. The follow wickets, as you can imagine, can get the required run rate, the current run rate down, which it has. The batsman summoning a quick change of bats. Yeah, the middle overs are going to be key. The next 3-4 overs are going to be telling. The kind of hitting that can happen, and this is not a large ground, Alok. Push comes to shove over 17 through 20. You can open your shoulders and go for it. The outfield is, of course, as you described, very soggy. You're not going to get 2s and 3s. But the 4s and singers, especially on the straighter side, can be had. So preserving wickets for the last 3 to 4 overs, I think, is going to be crucial.
Absolutely.
Even if the spinners are operating.
Absolutely. The amount of pressure these two batsmen are under right now, it will allow any bowler to bowl their best balls, and that's in favor of Master Blaster. And I see the strategy of Master Blaster. They're saving Khalid Jad runs 2 over, who only gave 1 run, and Ajay 1 run, and Basant only 1 over and 2 runs. So there are, like, we can see 6 or 7 overs they have quite a bit saved from their key bowlers today, and it's going to be a very good contest, I could see. Let's see how this over shape up.
Ajay Imadi bowling his second over. That was pitched on off stump, inviting the drive from Harmeet. Went straight to mid wicket.
That looked like a catch. No? It was a bum ball, yeah. Ajay, line of length. Very nicely delivering.
Oh, what a wicket that was! What a wicket! A beautiful teasing line. Just gave it just enough flight. Harmeet couldn't resist. Tried to come down the wicket, but missing the ball in flight. He was beaten in air. That was a delightful delivery from the bowler. And then the keeper doing the rest. A crucial stumping out there. This certainly tilts the game in favor of the Master Blasters. This is what an important breakthrough for them.
In the hindsight, 100 seems like a big score here now.
Oh, yeah.
With considering the conditions, considering the slowness of the wicket, I think it could be well above the par score the way things are going right now. Terrific bowling. I completely concur with what you just said, Arvind. Terrific bowling by Ajay Madi. Both the wickets that he has got is completely his own wicket. He's deceived the batsman. The intentions from Harmeet was very clear. He changed of bats, probably wanted to just hike up the ante. The question would be, was it needed yet? Maybe he could have probably hunkered down for a couple of more overs, but he just stepped out a ball that was bowled a little outside his range, and he tried to reach it, but he had committed himself too much, and it was an easy stumping at the end of the day for the wicket keeper. Now, 5 wickets done. For half the team is in the hut, and almost half the runs still to go. So interesting times, really. I'm really impressed with the way Ajay Madi has bowled here. He's got a lovely loop to his ball. He holds the ball just about that additional second more in his palm and then lets it go. The batsman tends to get committed into the shot. And then he's got this faster ball as well, which kind of skids through. All through, between the two teams, I think we've seen some top-class slow bowling today. Spin bowling, both the teams. Oh.
And all of viewers, you can see what happened in a pressure situation when Harmeet, I don't think that shot was called for, and Abir Chippa is a new batsman, and Ajay is absolutely bowling phenomenal here. He's mixing the ball, mixing the pace, mixing the line and length, and not giving any room to any of the Thunderbolt batsmen so far. Great bowling, great over so far, and At this point of the game, it's hard to say which direction it's going to go, but it's definitely becoming a great game of the cricket to watch. A little slow at the pace as far as the runs are coming. We have seen both sides, and now I can see why Master Blaster was having a tough time against Seattle Spinner, because although these pitches are mat pitches, but definitely the spin is working out here today. What a great over. I can see Master Blaster fielders, they are now talking, they're I can see that the fire is coming in there, and they're absolutely pumped up, and they're pushing from every single corner, talking and putting as much pressure as they can put on Thunderbolts batsmen. What we'll have to wait and watch what each over of this game bring, what kind of joy to which team in this game. But definitely from here, where we're watching, it's a fun game. Arvind.
Yeah, 56 for 5 at the end of 12. 44 runs required. 45, beg your pardon, 45 of 48. These are going to be the hardest 45 runs that the Thunderbolts are going to score, perhaps all season. And at the moment, run scoring is proving really difficult. They have a trike of spinners who are operating really well. Bowling to their fields, really, keeping it on fifth stump, and they know that the mindset for the Thunderbolts likely to preserve wickets, which means that they really can't have a go at it. Those thunderous shots over cover and extra cover have all but disappeared. They have a sweeper, a cover, extra cover, point. Oh, well played by the batsman. Really well played, that one. Managed to get a sweep of sorts. Almost picked it up from off stump. That's really what is required at this time of the game, is taking singles. This has to be done with singles, Sheil.
Yeah, totally. I think that shot was good because they waited. He waited for the ball to come, didn't commit himself into a cross-batted shot too early. Otherwise, that would have been a candidate for leg before. Once again, a well-played shot, front of the wicket. That's always a safer option, especially when you're playing spinners. That's the way. I totally agree with you that it's still not panic stations for Thunderbolt, and it's a great opportunity for Manu Jacob, Abir Chippa, and the batsman to come. Oh, that's timed very well. The ball sits up, and it's been hiked towards the mid-wicket. Once again, a lush outfield kind of holds the ball in, and a shot as big as that just fetches just single run for Thunderbolts and Manu Jacob. Good control bowling here by the spinners, and it's going to be that kind of a contest. Let's not expect anything like the quintessential T20 cricket here. We're not going to see too many boundaries and sixes. It's more like a condensed test match cricket going on here, as the batsmen play against the guile of the spinners and eke out runs one by one. Once again, a slow, slightly short of length outside the off stump, but bowling to the fielders. I agree with what Alok said. There's tremendous energy on the field right now. The fielders are looking charged up. They're charging in every ball, and suddenly the bowlers have found a line and length where they're bowling to their field. There was a period in the first 3-4 overs where almost everything that was touching the Thunderbolt bat was going to the gaps. That's how the fortune changes with a few wickets in the tank.
The required run rate now, 6 runs and over. 42 required in 42 balls. An excellent over by Basant Regmi, the previous one. gave hardly anything. Meanwhile, spin continues, and why not? I wouldn't be surprised if they can take it all the way down till the 17th over with spin. They have 2 overs left of Khalid Zadran, but spin has proven to be really effective. Meanwhile, a nice shot by the batter, gliding it to vacant third man for a single. And that's really what they need to be doing, is playing to the gaps. Nisarg Patel into the attack, bowling his final over of his 4-over quota. Nisarg has gotten 2 wickets, 2 important ones at that.
This game going to till the last over of this inning. Crucial contest.
Undoubtedly, this is going to go all the way. We would be shocked if this doesn't end in the 20th over. That one pitched up on middle stump, defended back to the bowler. Nicely played by the batsman. To the left of mid-wicket for a single to long on. Bowling on middle and leg, invited the drive. Easy single in the end. Oh, that one was pushed through quickly, but well played by the batsman. Soft hands, and more crucially, the non-striker alert to that and scampering down for a single. So well played by the batsman there. It tells you that if the striker and non-striker can really work together as a partner, even in the face of tight bowling and some good fielding, there are enough vacant gaps in the outfield to steal singles.
Manu and Abir actually has played at this ground quite a lot in the last 3-4 years. Even maybe more years for Manu. And they definitely know the field condition, the pitch, and they are trying to play how the pitch is behaving right now. They're chipping for the singles and try to push the scorecard, and definitely that last over was quite promising as far as the Thunderbolts strategies goes. So if they will go for 1 or 2 over like this, I think as long as they can reach 75 without losing any wicket, this game again can change direction in favor of Thunderbolts. What do you say?
Yep, totally agree with your point of view there, Alok. And they played out Nisarg. That was probably a good strategy for them. He was the most successful bowler. They didn't take any risk against him. But that said, they also have Basant Regmi and Ajay Madi to deal with. They both are bowling very well. That's again a risk taken, and gets an outside edge, and the ball travels down to the vacant third man area. That's 2 runs, 2 precious runs. Every single run here is a bit of a gold dust out here right now, and Thunderbolts are doing it well for the moment. I think it's about 64 for 5. Basant Regmi in attack again. It's its 3rd over now. It's been very economical. Seven runs in his 3rd over.
Manu again trying to find a gap, pushing it through, but not successful in the last ball. Let's see. And this time he chipped it again. As I said, Manu knows this ground, and he's definitely playing along with the situation and the conditions. So 3 balls, 3 run, exactly what is required at this point. Basant now going to bowl Abir. That's a good shot. That's a good shot between cover and point. But Master Blaster fielding has some fire going on. Their fielders are working super hard, coming to the ball because balls slow down on us on this green grass, thick grass, and it stops there. But they reach to the ball really quickly and not allowing a second run to Thunderbolts. Again, it was a good shot by Abir Chippa. But now to Manu Jacob. Oh, Manu, good shot. That was a classic T20 scoop by Manu. Shuffled 2 off stump a little bit. Took the ball, which was 1 middle and leg, and he scooped it down to the final leg for 2. So far, a good over. Arvind.
Definitely. Manu seems to be particularly strong behind the wickets, not afraid to play the late glides to third man, sometimes fine. And that one was played delightfully off the hips to vacant areas in final leg. Square of the wicket, this ground is pretty big. And if you can maneuver the ball into those gaps behind the wicket, why not? And that's exactly what they have done. A nice back foot punch, however, goes straight to point. So I reckon both teams are going to be happy with that over. Thunderbolts managed to rotate the strike. Their asking rate continues to climb. So they require 33 runs right now in
5 overs.
30 balls. It's still very doable.
Very doable. As
Very
long as it
doable.
stays under 6. I think Thunderbolt should be in a very good condition because not only their 2 spinners overs are done. There are Ajay's over left and Zadran's over left. Couple overs, and we have to wait and watch how Manu and Abir tackle them. So far, their strategies, they're just pushing the ball in the gaps and trying to take runs, and then scooping the ball in the areas where there's no fielder, and definitely the right strategy, not taking any risk at all. And their mindset, looks so calm right now because I don't feel the pressure that they had a few years ago, a few hours ago. They don't have it now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, at 33 runs required of 30 balls, I would reckon even just 15 runs in the next 3 overs. You leave yourselves with around 17, 18 runs in the last 2 overs, and with wickets in hand, you would back yourself to get it. So, high percentage cricket where they can rotate the strike and not lose a wicket crucially in the next 2-3 overs. Going at a run rate of around 5 should do it. Meanwhile, from the perspective of the Master Blasters, they've done a wonderful job here. It's going to be very interesting to see how they maneuver their bowling options. They do have Venu likely back for an over. They have 2 overs of Zadran left. They have a over of Imadi, whom I'm absolutely sure is going to finish his quota. This is just an absolutely fascinating contest. I have to give full credit to the Master Blasters for coming so strongly on. When Andreas was pumping those 4s, and Jagrup and Prajit were looking very positive, they did not drop their shoulders. Their spinners came on and almost immediately have wonderful impact.
I have a feeling this overs, for some reason, my vibes are telling me this over is going to change direction in this game. I said that in last game too. I don't know if you remember. But whose favor, I don't know. But this over will definitely change the direction.
No, I was about to say the same thing, that they will have to also, apart from playing the conditions, Thunderbolts have to choose the bowlers they have to go against. And looking at the bowling card, Venu seems to be the option. I'm frankly very surprised why they're bringing back Venu. They've got 2 overs from Imadi. They've got 2 overs from Khalid. They've got an over coming from Basant, who are their top bowlers right now. But Venu is coming back for this one. This over is one that I would think Thunderbolts would try to take some risk to get some runs on the board, because it's going to be tough for the other bowlers.
Faster balls are definitely easier one to play for the batsmen, and I think so far and throughout the game, if we have seen Thunderbolts innings and Master Blaster inning, spinners were the only one who were putting some challenge out there for the batsmen. So bringing a fast bowler, I'm not sure about their strategy, but that doesn't seem like the right choice at this time.
Just as a counterpoint, I actually felt that it was a good ploy to bring Venu back, because I think it's an opportunity for them to sneak in a quick over. The batsmen right now don't seem to be in an attacking mindset, and that's really the key. I don't see them wanting to take the aerial route. So from the Master Blasters point of view, I think they're trying to keep this down to a 4-run over. Venu has been operating right as I said that was a thunderous 6. Going back to your point, Alok, that was smashed over square leg for a massive 6. That ball was picked up on the 4th stump and deposited over square leg. You should have seen that. That one had power, distance, placement. There was a fielder at back of square leg who was just merely a spectator because of how special that one was. Really, the pace of the ball giving enough room for the batsman, enough pace to work with. Almost immediately thereafter is an inside edge, beating the keeper for a single. These are precious runs. 8 runs coming in 3 balls already.
I told you I have the vibes that this over will and can change the direction. And the reason it's not my cricketing ability to read the game, but when I see the pressure was taken off of the batsmen a little bit, they were scoring 6 runs per over. Batsmen feel pretty confident on these type of bowler. Previously, when Venu came in and bowled his last over, that situation was totally different. It was a pressure-mounted situation. Batsmen didn't take any risk. But this is definitely a different situation. And I see Seattle Thunderbolt. I can hear them from here. Definitely, the cheering is now growing, and the fire amongst the master blaster fielders are slowing down. Good contest so far. Good contest.
This over has been, I'm sure that 6, gigantic sense of relief from the dugout for the Thunderbolts. The asking rate, meanwhile, has dropped to less than 6 and over. Meanwhile, a cute glide to third man didn't materialize, perhaps too close for comfort there. But that brings the end of an eventful over, like Alok had predicted. 24 required in 24, so still run a ball. This is the back end of this contest. What a fascinating, riveting contest this has been. Don't go anywhere, viewers. It's a quick drinks break. Like we've said multiple times during this broadcast, it's a hot day, muggy day, 90-degree weather in Seattle. That was an expensive over in the context of the game. 9 runs in over number 16. Imadi's back. Is that Basant Regvi back into the attack for his final over? He's been very effective.
I think they should have brought Ajay at this over, because Basant's last over was full of runs, 6 runs, which is enough for Thunderbolts. But and Basant wasn't able to put any pressure on the batsman. So let's see. And again, Abir tried to find a gap between the bowler and extra cover, short extra cover, but wasn't able to. Straight in the hands of extra cover fielder. Basant again, honest stride. And this time it's straight into the hands of point fielder, and Abir could not connect the ball very well. Only hit the ball from the edge of the bat and gave his wicket away. A little bit of harm done, but I can see the next batsman coming up, Sahil, who's very talented youngster from Seattle. Very patient batsman. Well, definitely. Again, this contest is not over yet. There's a lot of juice still left in this game, and we shall see how this game proceeds.
That shot coming of the bottom toe end of the bat, scoop to point. Fielder having no problems holding on to it. You're right, I was a little bit surprised that it was not Imadi, but Basant seems to have come in and done the trick. I presume from here on, it could be Zadran, Imadi, Zadran to complete the bowling quota. The Thunderbolts have little to lose. 24 runs, eminently still gettable. Around 3.5 overs left to go. They have around 4 wickets in hand at the moment. So 77 for 6. So 23 required of 22. Sahil Kancharala comes to the crease to partner Manu Jacob. Manu Jacob, meanwhile, has played a good inning here, Sheil. 18 runs of 24 balls with the thunderous 6 of Venu in the previous over. It's going to be a crucial over from Basant. Let's see how he gets. If the Thunderbolts can get another 3 to 4 runs of this without any further damage done, they're still very much in the hunt.
Yeah, absolutely. I think their chase depends well and truly on Manu. He's well set. He's the person who's striking. He's got the measure of the wicket by now. It's a great opportunity for the young under 21 player from the team, Sahil Kancharla. As Alok mentioned, a tremendous talent. I looked at his numbers. He scored a bucket full of runs, Series T20 all across. And he would be keen to have a lasting impact on this tournament. And today would be the day. 26 runs to get, and any good hand to see this team through would be a fantastic effort.
That's right. Manu has to be the anchor from here on for them. Oh, that was an adventurous reverse sweep there. It was very interesting, but perhaps he played it on line. He knew that the ball was drifting down the offside. Wanted to get a little bit of extra. He saw the...
shot.
That's right. And with a vacant third man region, wanted to exploit that to see if he could get more on it, but simply didn't get bat to ball. The two batters get down for a quick huddle. Pushed off the back foot. A misfield there from covers allows the batsman to sneak in a single. That release pressure. I'm sure the bowler isn't very happy with that effort on the in the infield. Every dot ball creates much additional pressure. The scenes here, it's an amazing contest, very tense across all three dugouts, in the commentary box, amongst the viewing public. Meanwhile, Alok and Sheel, I'm not sure if you have seen, there's a fair bit of spectators who have accumulated in the banks, in the grass banks across us. Watching what's unfolding to be a very good contest. Full credit to both teams for taking it all the way. Meanwhile, that was the end of over number 17. 3 overs left in the contest.
22.
22 required of 18 balls. The run rate is climbing and stiffening. And as we expected, Khalid Zadran, who's been an ace, an absolute ace for the Master Blasters.
Crucial over from both teams' point of view. This is 18th over of Master Blaster inning. Let's see how Thunderbolt batsmen react to it. They don't have any option other than to go for single and double and maybe an odd ball, loose ball, 6 or 4. And definitely the Thunderbolt side viewers and the spectators are waiting for that bad ball to come in. And Master Blasters probably praying for all 6 balls to be concise and price to be on there. Pushed to the point by Manu for a single. Shot of length going outside the off stump. And let's see what Zadran has in his sleeves to deliver and take his team to a winning direction. Zadran to Sahil. Oh, that's a bad ball. That's a way outside the leg stump for a wide. At this point in time of the game, these runs can be dangerous.
Yes, it was interesting to see young Sahil create some pressure there on the bowler. Indicating from body language, from his stance, that he's going to be aggressive and he's going to let Manu do the milking of the singles. That forced Zadran to that leg stump line. This one was pitched up. Sahil plays this to third man, almost scooping it out to third man for a couple.
What a great shot.
Absolutely. Sahil showing no nerves whatsoever.
Fuller ball, and he just literally.
Yeah, it was a square scoop to third man. I don't know how else to describe that, and that required a kind of hand-eye coordination that only the young ones have, and so 4 runs coming of 3 balls here.
Exciting stuff. Not a bad over for Thunderbolts.
Khalid Zadran has been the pick of the bowlers for the Master Blasters all tournament. Lots of experience. This one on the legs. Oh, this is going to be a close one if he hits it directly. Not to be so. This was hit to mid-wicket. Mid-wicket had to dive, get a full outstretched hands. But very quick running by Sahil. Had it been a direct hit, might have been close shield.
Oh, it would be, but you need to take these chances. Honestly, one of the things that Thunderbolts have to go back and think, their running has been a little pedestrian. They've been running the old school test match cricket kind of running. So this was good to see the youngster putting the pressure. And this is a nice swivel from the batsman. I don't know how far the ball has gone, but it's kind of gone and stopped near the boundary line. And 3 crucial runs. Once again, terrific running by Sahil Kancharla. I mean, this would have been a 2-run in the normal set of circumstances, the way Thunderbolts have been running between the wicket. But this was a classic pressure, putting pressure on the fielders kind of running. And they've eked out 3 runs. So in 2 balls, they have eked out 2 extra runs. And in fact, that single in the previous ball created these 3 runs now.
Yeah, Manu has been extremely good behind the wickets. His glides to third man and his short arm jabs and pulls to fine leg have just been delightful. And that one went to conventional fine leg. The fielder from square leg had to come all the way. And Sahil sprinting on 19, 20-year-old legs. There's about the only batsman I reckon who could steal a 3 there. Meanwhile, a good comeback ball from Zadran, beating the batsman on the 5th stump. What a good contest.
14.
Yeah, 14 balls. This has been a riveting over, folks. Don't go anywhere. 14 runs required of 13 balls. The last ball of this over. Straight shot. Straight shot. What a shot that. What a shot that. Young Sahil showing no nerves. That ball was not a bad ball at all. It was perhaps a little bit overpitched. On the off stump, Sahil went for a beautiful straight drive right over the bowler's head into the side screen. What a shot in the context of the game.
That shot was an effortless shot. Timed well, punched well, half volley, and he delivered the best outcome of this ball in favor of Thunderbolts. So, great batting, Sal.
Talk about taking the best bowler on, and that kind of sends a great message. Immediately, you can see the body language of the Master Blasters. They feel the pressure right now, and it was fantastic initiative taken by the youngster. Not just in the running between the wicket, but that shot. That was a pure shot, absolutely. And 8 runs of 12 balls now. The required runs are in single digit. It's not over till it's over, but terrific initiative taken last 2 overs, really.
Well, interestingly, I was hoping that Ajay should have bowled the last over. As I said, the pace in the bowling is helping batsmen, but spinners definitely are the key in this game. And Ajay is back on attack, and Manu now facing Ajay. Oh, that's a bad ball. That was bad. Seems like the pressure is now on Master Blasters bowlers, and there's quite a bit of coaching coming from both sides. There was a request for no ball, but wasn't that high. I can see that was high enough and should have been a no ball. I don't agree with that, but it was not a no ball. Bad ball by first ball by Ajay. Let's see how he comes back. And again, a good shot by Manu. Good shot by Manu to mid-wicket, and 2 runs. So 4 runs at the first 2 ball, and it seems like only 4 more required. I would let Irvin conclude this game for the rest of us.
That might have just ended the contest right there. The first ball was a shoulder-high one that Manu had no problem paddling to fine leg. And the very next ball was an extremely well-run 2. The advantage of young legs there. Whip to square, whip to the mid-wicket area. They did have Cow Corner rushing in to save the 2, but couldn't. 4 runs of 2 balls might have Is there another twist in the tail here? Excellent batting in the last 8 to 10 balls by the Thunderbolts.
Oh, excellent. Excellent addition. Bringing Matt Sahil back into the team. He missed out on the last game, but he was brilliant in the field today, especially in the cover point area. And he's showing the urgency here. Ran well, ran with purpose, and of course, playing some well-calculated shots. Nothing. He seems to have a cool shoulder on his good head on his shoulders. Once again, going for a drive, and that should be it. I guess the ball is taken outside edge. That's just a single again. I tell you, this outfield is a nightmare for some of the shots that trickles down the boundary line. Manu on strike as Ajay comes in for the next one, and that's been hoiked to the mid off, and the catch has been dropped, and the batsman crossover for another single. That was almost an easy catch. A couple of steps for the longer fielder to come in, but he misjudged and it gets spilled.
Yeah, I think that was just pressure telling on the fielder there, Sheil. That was definitely one to have been taken at the long off boundary, pretty regulation. And that does the game. This one was pushed through wide of off stump, beating batsman and keeper, and the batsman taking the bye. An amazing contest that's ended in an anticlimactic fashion on a bye. But this has just been a wonderful contest. Around 30 balls back, we had no idea how it was going to go.
Totally agree with you, Arvind. I think the last couple of overs, it was a calculated initiative taken by both Manu and Sahil especially. But full credit to Manu for holding his nerves. He was the mainstay out there. He understood his responsibilities, and barring a couple of rush of blood here and there, he more or less kept the chase on its track, and then combined forces with the youngster to make sure that they bring Seattle Thunderbolts home. So a well-earned and much well-deserved for today, the kind of cricket they've played throughout the day today. A much well-deserved 4 points on the table. There is obviously Master Blasters. They have a lot to think, but they will take a lot of energy from how they came back and bowled with purpose, fielded with purpose. They almost got the match to a deciding point. So they will obviously come back tomorrow with some positive thoughts taken from this particular game. But having said that, they're still yet to open their account on the points table. So big congratulations to the Thunderbolts team. They chose well. They got the right players into the mix. They brought in Funny, and they brought in Sahil into the team. That sort of infused some much needed energy, and the rest of the bowlers. So they bowled really well, and their batters, they had their share of hiccups, but at the end it was a good, comfortable chase with 1 over to spare.
Manu Jacob, a lot of credit goes for him for anchoring the second half of the inning. And I have to say that tactically, the Master Blasters perhaps got their bowling rotation wrong in the last 3 to 5 overs. Venu, Zadran, and then an over from Basant. Basant Regi, they're all bowled well, make no mistake, but we felt that perhaps Ajay Madi should have come in a little bit earlier. Bringing Venu back meant that they leaked a 6 to Cow Corner. That instantly let the pressure off, because at that point in time, with around 33 runs required of 330 balls, the required run rate had steadily climbed from around 5 to 6.5. Another 3-run over or a 4-run over from the spinners could have significantly set them back, but instead that over went for around 8 to 9 runs. And then when Zadran came in for his penultimate over, Sahal took full toll with a calculated risk. And there was some excellent running between the wickets as well. You cannot ignore that. As you said, Sheel, I mean, the running between the wickets, the batters really picked up the pace in the last 4 or 5 overs, converting ones to twos and a 2 to a 3. In a game where the target was just 101, the running between the wickets was going to be crucial. The drop catch at long off probably didn't alter the scores of the game. It perhaps came too late. But this was a close contest. Looking at the scoreboard, you might think with 4 wickets in hand and the game ending in the 19th over, but certainly wasn't the case. With 5 overs left to go, this was anybody's contest. It was even money, which team would pull it through. And it's been a tale of very close games that they quite haven't been able to pull off for the Master Blasters. And Thunderbolts are going to heave a huge sigh of relief at the end of the first inning with chasing a target of just 101. They likely felt the game was in the bag, but not quite so. So this was much closer than they would have anticipated. But like you mentioned earlier in the broadcast, it gave an opportunity for players of the class of Manu and Sahil to come and show their mettle. And this is going to give them a lot of confidence for games going forward, that they don't have to depend entirely on the pros, Andreas, Hermit, Projit, and Shadley, that there is enough batting talent down the roster to pull off close games like this one.
Absolutely. On my book, I guess Manu Jacob is the man of the match for me. It's a low-scoring game. All the bowlers kind of bowled well, but his presence out in the middle ultimately made the difference. Of course, so there's a lot to think about for both teams. As much as, like you said, the Master Blasters will go back and think about their batting, because that's been their challenge. They have not been batting at a higher strike rate. They will have to think about how they can not just play 20 overs, but play 20 overs with purpose so that they can score. Someone like an Asad, he played 20 overs at a strike rate of 50. That's not good enough. Preserving the big wicket in T20 without getting the move on can be detrimental, and which is what happened today. But once again, in his shoes or in his advocacy, I can only say that he never got one window where he could potentially unleash himself, because his wickets were falling at a regular clip. Same with Thunderbolts out here. They will have a thing to think about. They will never have Andreas and Jagrup bailing them out every game. They will have once or twice the top order might fail, and that's when the middle order will have to stand counted. So I think whatever we saw about Prajit was very promising. I expect bigger knocks and longer knocks from him. Manu played brilliantly. Abir, I thought, had a good all-round presence, although he didn't score too many runs, but his presence out there was critical. He did not let too many wickets fall. At that point, they kind of arrested the fall of wickets, and that led the final counter assault that they charged. And I think they selected pretty well today. So they've got their balance good. I hope they come back and repeat on this momentum tomorrow to take another additional 4 points. So well played, a good game. We'll be keen to see who is the man of the match for today. On my book, it's going to be Manu Jacobs.
Yes, valiant bowling from the Thunderbolts as well. This is a game that both teams fought hard, would have thought was going their way. A lot of twists and turns. And you're right, Jill, plenty of thinking for both teams on their execution. And I have to say that was a crucial toss to win. For the Thunderbolts, what this game tells them is that they have depth both in their batting and in their bowling. For the Master Blasters, they know that if they can score 130, 135 runs, they have the bowling firepower to defend that. So good contest. We are going to conclude our broadcast session here. Don't forget, this is a double header. We have back-to-back games. And tomorrow's game is a early morning game starting around at the 10 o'clock slot. So I hope most of you can tune back in. And with that, we conclude our broadcast. Thanks, everybody, for watching what has been a very good contest. See you folks tomorrow.
Thank you.